following a shooting that left 3 people dead and 15 injured. The shooting occurred at Young Park in Las Cruces, New Mexico, Friday night. Police say an altercation broke out after an unauthorized car show had drawn about 200 people to the park. The gunshot victims ranged in age from 16 to 36. Investigators say the suspects could face additional charges. I'm Mike Hempen.
Almost 200 Venezuelans in the U.S. illegally, some of them accused gang members, have been sent back to their homeland. The Trump administration put them on a plane that has since landed in Caracas. At the same time, the administration continues its court fight defending its deportation policies. The war in Ukraine rages on, even as a fresh round of ceasefire talks now underway in Saudi Arabia.
On the front line, attacks in Ukraine and Russia are continuing. Russia launched a barrage of drones across Ukraine on the weekend that killed at least 7 people, including a father and his 5-year-old daughter in Kyiv. Ukraine is also launching drones, with the Russian military saying it intercepted 28 overnight.
Correspondent Naeun Kim. Israel continues hammering Hamas targets in Gaza, including in places where civilians are mixed in with the terrorists. Israel's military says its strike on the largest hospital in southern Gaza targeted a high-ranking Hamas official who was being treated there. He was killed along with a teenager who had recently undergone surgery. Ahead of this morning's opening bell on Wall Street, stock futures sharply higher. Dow futures up 404 points. The Nasdaq futures ahead 302. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Healthcare is complicated. It doesn't have to be. If you don't love how your health insurance works, maybe it's time to leave traditional health insurance behind. Take charge of your healthcare with Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM offers you flexibility. Enroll anytime, choose your own provider, and select the program that fits your needs and budget. CHM is the original faith-based way of taking care of your medical bill costs. Learn more at chministries.org/wellness.
You heard me talk about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too with their 3-week quick start kit for only $19.95, less than $1 a day. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or eliminate pain. Visit relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF for Relief Factor.
An investigation of the death of a former U.S. attorney for Virginia's Eastern District.
It was Saturday morning that 43-year-old Jessica Aber was found dead at her Arlington home. The former federal prosecutor resigned from her position with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Northern Virginia 2 months ago, a role to which she was nominated by former President Biden in 2021. Aber served as U.S. Attorney from October 2021 until early 2025, when she stepped down to allow President Trump to select her successor. The Eastern Division of Virginia office oversees cases related to national security, terrorism, and high-profile white-collar crime. An investigation into Aber's cause of death is underway. Tasha Stevens reporting.
U.S. airstrikes targeting Yemen's Houthi rebels have pounded sites across the country. The rebels say the one attack in the capital killed at least one person, wounded more than a dozen others. The American strikes entering their 10th day. News and analysis, townhall.com. Former Utah Congresswoman Mia Love has died.
Love was the first black Republican woman elected to Congress. Love entered politics in 2003, eventually becoming mayor of Saratoga Springs, Utah. She spoke out against President Obama at the 2012 Republican National Convention.
His policies have failed us. We're not better off than we were 4 years ago.
Love won a seat in Congress in 2014, but lost 2 years later. Mia Love had undergone recent treatment for brain cancer. She was 49. I'm Ed Donahue.
Heathrow bosses are defending their response to a fire that shut down Europe's busiest airport for almost a day. It comes after Britain's energy system operator suggested the airport had enough electricity from other sources to keep running. More than 1,300 flights were canceled on Friday after a fire destroyed one of the 3 electrical substations that supply Heathrow. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, Whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
It is Monday.
It is indeed a Monday.
It's a crazy weekend. I mean, in the news, we're in the national news with the big shooting in Los Angeles. It's been
no, it's been a tough weekend. Kind of bittersweet. I mean, there was the best of times, the worst of times.
Yeah, I was. For me, it was a busy weekend.
Right.
I mean, I bought a vehicle on Friday. That kind of just started. No, I don't want it.
Pull back of the curtain. We're having a computer freeze and restart issues that happened literally right before we went on the air this morning.
About to refresh my mail, and I looked at 6:59. My computer froze.
So that's fun.
So I'm getting it up here. But yes. I ended up purchasing a brand new vehicle from Richland.
Indeed you did. And that process really kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
There's a reason Freddie.
That man is a champion angler.
No, he knew the buttons to push with me. He pushed the right button.
He is a fisher of men. He definitely reeled Mike in. So and this is just my understanding of the story from the third person. You got a text message at lunchtime that said, "Hey Mike, I've got some great deals," and then he sent you pictures. Yeah, basically, Freddie gains a customer the way most people go on Tinder.
Well, in all fairness, I kind of was hinting I was sniffing, but I was thinking I'd be sniffing about the end of the year. That's about when I was planning.
Sure.
But with incentives and things, it was.
And
I sniffed a little early.
I gotta say, when Kim told me how much you guys drove off the lot for, I was pretty shocked. I'm like, really? That was a heck of a deal. But
and I got a good trade in for my Jeep. My Wrangler. I don't get me wrong, I love that Jeep.
Sure.
And I'm not gonna lie. Saturday morning, love my new Jeep. Still missing my old one a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
you had it worked in. It was like your butt groove in the seat.
And to be honest, it's one of because where my old Jeep had zero real luxuries. I had a ability to Bluetooth to listen to like stuff off my phone.
Right.
Short of that was about it. I had manual locks. I had
crank windows. Yeah.
I had heating and air.
Right.
But I didn't have no nav unit. I didn't have really all the bells and whistles that most vehicles come with.
Right.
Now, the vehicle I have has got all the bells and whistles. It's got heated seat, steering wheel, power windows, locks, remote start, of course, nav, all the Google Plays, Apple Plays, and Pluses, or whatever they all are. It's got all that stuff. And so I'm sitting there trying to learn all this, and that's the moment I said, and this is why I have bare bones. I don't want to take a college course on figuring out how to do. I mean, I get it. I'm 50s and people in their 20s. This is like, I don't know. I think they get already factory installed in their brain when they're they got that software put in when they were born. I didn't get it.
So for those who haven't seen, what did you get?
Oh, I got it's a 24.
Okay.
That's part of the reason why I got a lot of the.
So Mike's basically driving Kiefer Sutherland around.
It's a not the show. It's a 2024 Jeep Gladiator.
Nice.
Yes, and it was brand new. Because Kim goes, we were doing sign the paperwork, and he mentioned the mileage, and Kim goes, oh, by the way, how many miles on it? Me and the sales rep go 22.
Nice.
And she goes, 22,000? No. And she kind of got that look, 22,000?
Right.
I said, no, sweetie, 22.
As in they drove it to this lot from another lot, probably.
Right. So
it's been driven back and forth between Richlands a couple of times.
So yeah, it's a
I remember when I first got my car, I had 9 miles on the odometer.
Yeah.
I'm at like 76,000 now, so all those are my miles.
I earned every one of them. But so that was fun.
Nice. Did you go out on any road trips for the weekend?
Not major road trips. Just
just like drive arounds or whatever.
Pretty much anytime we went anywhere, or Kim usually likes, because she likes to drive. It's kind of her thing. So I just let her. And I don't want to say nothing, but I was like, we go to the grocery store, we go run our errands, I'll be driving today. And
so what you have is basically all of the amenities of a Jeep, or all of the ruggedness of a Jeep, but with a truck bed now.
It's a little bit bigger.
You do understand what that entails, right?
You got to move stuff.
Yeah,
people.
basically your friends are all your friends are going to ask you to help them move.
Yeah. Well, I'd be willing to help.
That reminds me, this weekend I got a couple things I need all the way.
Well, just so happens I will not be in the town of Roswell.
Cool. Leave your keys. I'll just come grab the Jeep and get it taken care of.
All right. Yeah, I'll leave that.
Thanks, man.
But so that was fun, and then oh boy, howdy! I was mad, and I was gonna say some things this morning.
Okay.
But I have slept. I've calmed down.
I've let myself relax just a bit.
And I will just say this. So our neighborhood had their annual HOA meeting on Saturday. Oh, my goodness. It is the saddest thing I've ever seen. These people are... I've never seen grown, mature... No. Mature in years, aged people act like children and be so nasty in my life.
Do you ever watch C-SPAN?
I'm just saying.
This is how the Senate operates every day.
Well, those people get paid to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
These are just, let's face it, older, cantankerous people that got nothing better in their life but to worry about stuff like this. And the only reason I would let this go, and normally, but they're getting to my wife, and I'm not going to go too deep into details, but she was literally at the end of the meeting in tears.
Damn.
Yes.
I mean, are they being stringent with requirements? Is it because she's on the board and they?
Well, she's a board and therefore is an arrow,
right?
Which is, I get some of that, but what they're doing is just hateful. This isn't. I mean, I'm not getting into details because literally there's lawsuits involved. And so that's stuff like that.
I plead the fifth.
But all I'm saying is, and it really is. And I'm not talking about the whole neighborhood. Most of the people in the neighborhood are pretty nice.
Sure.
There's a relatively small but very loud group that are just bad people. Narcissistic bad people. And I've had my fill of them. And I was like to the point where I was about to blow names and talk dirty deeds this morning. And I said, no, I can't, because I don't want to hurt my wife any more than I could. I don't care about me.
Right.
Come at me. Throw the arrows. I mean, I'm not. I was so mad that I'm like wanting to do violence mad. That's how mad I was. And I think it's because it's my wife. Like I'm in radio. I get it. People are going to feel a way about me one way or another.
Right.
I get that's part of the job. But my wife is literally was begged to do this, volunteered to do it. Been nothing but trying her best for the last couple of years.
Right.
And hasn't done nothing but just
vitriol,
stress, vitriol, and from these old, cantankerous pieces of hot garbage. And I've got nothing nice to say. Like, we have a cop at the thing because these people are so ridiculous.
Jeez.
And then the other ones, the ones that are just, they complain about everything. And these are the ones, and this is the one that gets me too, and I'm not going to get, but we don't have a very expensive HOA fee. And you get a pool, you get the landscaping, there's a lot that you get under what you pay, which is a very relatively low amount. And that's just it. They want us, and the board, well, we don't want to, I was like, look, it's thousands of dollars for this pool. It's thousands. You got to repave this. You can't do all that for what you're collecting right now. It's just the numbers don't match.
Right.
But the cantankerous old people pay their very relatively small amount each month, and they're paying for cheeseburgers and expecting steak.
Right.
And that's the part that's really bad and when the people explain to them, we'll fix this. Well, with what money? How can we got to prioritize this, and they don't have answers.
Right.
But they got complaints. And they get nasty and hateful about it. And that's where I'm at. And I told my wife on Saturday, I said, be done with this. Why are you doing this? And she's like, well, if I don't, then, I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Exactly. If it's not, it shouldn't be on her, especially considering she's volunteering. I mean, that's her time. It could be spent however she wants it to be spent. She should have to,
I'm going to move on because if I do, I'm going to say things I don't want. But I will say this: there's some people in that neighborhood, and I know a few of the neighborhood do listen. At least they say it to me every once in a while. I will say this: like I said, most of the folks in there are great people, but there are some that are really bad. And you know what? You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is, I'm not deeply into religious. You people don't have much time on this earth. You better get right with you doing.
Yoni Jesus.
You're going to be seeing them soon. And all I'm saying is, based on what I've seen from you people, you ain't going to be hanging out with them too long. That's all I'm saying.
Hope you like the heat.
So think about that this Sunday.
Mike just told a group to go to hell.
Pretty much.
In the most polite way possible.
Dang right. That's what they deserve. And to be honest, they don't deserve the politeness. I'm doing that because I have a modicum of
because the FCC requires me to do so.
Because I don't want to get fired today.
That's right.
All right, let me give you the rundown and get going. Otherwise, I'm going to be hating on old people for now. And I'm starting to be one, dang it. But we're going to replay an interview this hour. Don Well joined us with Friends of Bitter Lake last week to have a great conversation about some of the stuff. They're looking for volunteers. And so if you're looking to get involved, even if you really want to get involved, some people that say they do things, sorry, cut back to something else. Don could use you. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have some folks join us to talk about Montanza Fest, which is happening May 10th. And if you're not, it's steeped in tradition, and especially if you're born and raised in New Mexico, you're probably well versed in Montanza Fest. If you're new to the state, this might be.
Well, we'll educate you.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that here. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll have the folks from the Roswell Community Theater join us. Of course, this weekend and next are two big weekends for their next big play, the Explorers Club. It'll be this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And again, next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Community Theater. So they'll join us, talk about that. I believe they had the immersive dinner this weekend. This past Saturday, I think. Yeah, this past Saturday for that one. So we'll do that. Plus, we'll have all of your newses, features, locals, a long distance, all the other stuff. Hopefully my computer will stop freezing up. I got to get it all clicking here. So let's do this. Let's take 7:18. Let's take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good over the next couple of days. We do have a system moving in on Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. Might bring us some rain. For now, we'll stay sunny. Afternoon high today in the low 80s. Wind will stay light, 5 to 10 miles an hour. For the overnight hours, it'll be clear with mid-40s, and then we get sunshine on Tuesday. We're expecting mid-80s. Maybe an afternoon shower on Wednesday, high around 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 39 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. Winds currently out of the south at 6 miles per hour. Sunny today and a high of 86 expected. Actually, the whole week is pretty not bad. There's some moisture chances Wednesday and Thursday. But as far as temps go and wind, I don't think it's going to be that bad this week. Sunny and 86 today. South winds 5 to 10. Clear tonight, overnight low of 46 with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunny and 86 for you Tuesday. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 48. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, we dip down into the upper 70s, 79. So right around 80 under partly cloudy skies Wednesday. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday night, there is a 30% chance it's rain showers, mainly before 9 p.m. And then actually it's 9 to midnight, so they're doing that then. So rain, only 30% chance of rain Wednesday night, overnight low of 53. We are looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon on Thursday. Otherwise, partly cloudy, 74 for a high there. Friday, we're looking at sunny and 85. Saturday, sunny and 82, and sunny and 80 on Sunday. So not much to complain about this week. Got a pretty good week of weather, and who knows? Maybe we'll get some moisture, which we'll never say no to. Hopefully, it doesn't come in the form of 6 inches in 3 hours. But nice soaking rain. Be good. You're putting in orders. So, all right, 7:21. We're gonna get you into your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten. Quick break, and then we're gonna play our interview with Don Weld with Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A fairly light March run this week, but a good selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings. We expect to sell 1,150 head, breaking down like this: 125 weight cows and bulls, 125 pairs bred cows, 950 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 10 to 15 cow-calf pairs, mostly black white-face Angus and Brangus crosses, with black calves, pairs 5 to 10 years old. 25 bred cows, the Lynch Ranch here at Roswell. Excellent quality, mostly black white-face Angus cross cows. Second trimester bred to Angus bulls. Cows 4 to 9 years old. 23 bred cows, Cordova Ranch, Los Lunas, New Mexico. Good quality, white-face, medium frame, second and third trimesters, bred to Hereford bulls, mostly 2 to 5 years old. 81 heifer calves, Barrow Cattle Company, Andrews, Texas. Reputation quality, black white-face, red white-face, and white-face heifer calves. Cattle weaned 60 days. 2 rounds of shots, thin to medium condition. 375, 500 pounds. 48 calves and light yearlings, Cordova Ranch, Los Lunas, New Mexico. Good quality, white face, thin to medium condition. 1 round of shots, 450, 750 pounds. 41 calves, Gatlin Lake Ranch over in Catron County. Excellent quality, black and red Angus crossbred calves, shots at Brandon, 350, 500 pounds. 50 calves and light yearlings, Johnson Ranch, Lake Arthur, New Mexico. Excellent quality, black white face Angus crosses, good condition, right off some fields, 450, 600 pounds. 23 heifers, Mr. Fred Yates right here at Roswell. Excellent quality, black Angus and Charolais crossbreds. Cattle weaned 100 plus days, 2 rounds of shots, 500, 625 pounds. 23 calves, J.B. Runyon Incorporated, Hope, New Mexico. Excellent quality, black white-face Angus and Brangus crosses. Cattle weaned, 1 round of shots, 350, 550 pounds. 39 calves, light yearlings, Mr. Vasquez, Malaga, New Mexico. Excellent quality, black Angus. Cattle are weaned, 1 round of shots, right off some fields, 400, 800 pounds. 51 calves, light yearlings, Kincaid Brothers, Pinon, New Mexico. Excellent quality, black white-face Brangus crosses. Cattle weaned 45 plus days, 1 round of shots, 350, 600 pounds. 36 calves, Mr. Rod Hill, TRC, New Mexico. Good quality red Brangus calves. Cattle weaned long time, shots, thin to medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs bred cows, 9:30, 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10, 15. Very short on weigh cows and bulls. Be on bred cows and calves and yearlings pretty quick. We expect to sell 1150 today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
That new avocado slicer won't do you any good if you can't find it.
Top quality kitchen cabinets from Bush Woodworks are more than just beautiful. They keep things organized and make cooking more fun. Bush kitchen cabinets cost about the same as the box store, even less when you install them yourself. And we'll give you all the advice you need. So take it from James, the Cabinet King.
Come see us at Bush and let's get cooking.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
Morning is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat this morning, Don Weld back with us. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself? Better than yesterday, I guess.
Better than yesterday. I got kind of blown away yesterday.
Yeah, you were. He was telling us he was one of the folks that was sitting out on the highway waiting for hours with all the dust settled so they can open back up and let him back into town.
Yep.
So,
At first,
good thing is you're back safe and everything else.
Yes.
That's the important thing.
At first, I thought maybe there was an accident, but it didn't appear to when they finally let everybody go.
Yeah,
just a big pile up of people waiting to get through this one section.
Well, and my wife was showing me some footage from Odessa, some major pileups in the dust storm. So I think you got the better end of the stick.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Amarillo. That's not
Amarillo,
Odessa. Amarillo.
yeah.
It was there in Texas. But yeah, so I'll take waiting.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was annoying, but better to survive than.
But for future plannings, folks, if you got those trips and know it's going to be, maybe pack some extra food or essentials you might need. If you need medicines,
a couple of bottles of water.
Yeah, if you take medicines, you might want to pack them with you just in case you're stuck there a little longer than you anticipated.
That's right.
Good idea to keep.
March is the time when Mother Nature does all her sweeping of things out.
Yeah,
so she's cleaning out for the year.
Yep, it blows in and blow right out here.
All right.
So, but so I'm just was curious since what. How does that impact when you get these wind days and dust days out of Bitter Lake? Is all the animals that just turn into kind of a ghost
they
town?
hide.
Yeah,
they hide. They have their little cubby holes and whatnot. It's amazing. I think the animals are smarter than humans.
Yeah,
they know nature and they know when to hide and when to go out and feed and whatnot.
And I was like. As far as the migrations going, are they still migrating, or are they pretty much at destinations at this point?
The cranes have pretty much gone. This is March. By March, they're on their way.
Okay.
The geese are the same way because they go up to Canada to breed too. So
I just didn't know if maybe with these high winds, maybe they're like, well, we didn't get as many because they got blown off course and are heading up a different direction or anything like that.
There may be some course corrections.
Yeah, I wonder about that. I was like, did we get a different batch that maybe come further east and said, we're going to blow into this one this year.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know if it maybe brought a different batch or a little less than we normally see or anything.
Well,
like that.
Not that I know of,
Gotcha.
but
I'm just curious.
It could have.
Yeah.
Very well could have.
I mean, their radars and whatever they use to navigate, they're very much susceptible to the winds and everything else, and they'll get, they're just heading north. They may not. They're getting a general direction, not a specific
One year
point.
we got a crane out of Siberia that normally winds up in India.
Wow! So it
got
really
blown over into our pathways and wound up spending the winter down here. Now it went back with the group, and we can only assume that it got back over to where it wanted.
Caught up with the
got its own group again, and we never saw him again. But it's just a 1 year.
Or you wonder if maybe they just catch on with another flock somewhere. If they can't find theirs, do they just
could be
pack into another one?
Yeah,
kind of thing?
Of course they have their home bases, north and south.
Gotcha.
They have
So
the normal.
They probably hit. Okay, I know where I'm at. I'll go back to a point where I know where my people are at, and then I'm going to eventually catch up with them.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're smarter than we are when it comes to those kind of things.
Yeah. and
instinctual for them.
Cranes mate for life. So if it was a mated crane, I'm sure he was looking for his partner.
Yeah, they're looking for their particular people, not just their type of people.
Right. That's right.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I was just kind of curious about that because I was thinking, this is a resting but like if the winds are bad, the weather's bad, I imagine that makes travel for these animals. Sometimes they miss the mark getting here.
Yeah, they do.
Or others that weren't intending to come here end up coming here.
And it's even worse for things like butterflies.
I would imagine.
The monarchs.
Oh, I don't even know how they navigate at all.
Oh, yeah.
They're so light. I just imagine they're just
float on the wind.
But I would think it's violent. Like, how do they keep from not getting just tumbleweeded?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. What did I read on that? I think the butterflies actually get up in the air.
Yeah.
Way up in the air.
They may be able to.
Up above the jet stream
I'm
areas.
sure God has got the plan on their adaptability. Just from my pea brain, I'm like, how do they pull that move off? But
they've had a couple of million years to figure that out.
And also, they're built different.
Yes.
They got, it's like seahorses and all the other. They're built to adapt to where they're at.
Yep.
And if I tried it, it wouldn't happen.
That's one of the things I want to do is I want to go down to Mexico and see the gathering of the butterflies.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I better do it quick because I understand that area is under attack. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
The humans have got to meddle in everything. So
the world we live in, we got that. That's kind of we got to balance. Find the balance.
Mm-hmm. That's all we do out at Bitter Lake is we look for balance.
Absolutely. So, but I would invite people because right now you can use volunteers, things like that. We could need more friends for Friends of Bitter Lake. It's a great organization. Now, if you love Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, if you love everything about it, friends are kind of a way for you to get more involved.
That's right.
It is all volunteers, and they serve in various roles. Everything from running the store there at the refuge to out doing service projects, working, sweat equity out, working on trails, working on various projects out there. But we also have the fundraising, the other side. So if you're like, well, I love to get involved. I'm not much for digging in dirt and things. Okay, well, we got many different ways you can serve through the Friends. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to dig in the dirt and go exploring and all that, we can help you out there too.
Yep.
Because that's one of the perks is you get to really get behind the scenes with Bitter Lake sometimes. There's areas of that refuge that are not accessible to the public by design. Because as Don and I say every time, that facility is not for you. It is for the natural,
the wildlife,
the animals, the natural plant life, the everything. That's it. We are there as spectators. We're there to watch and learn. We're not there to get involved or interact. We're there to observe and report, I guess. And so that being said, as a friend of Bitter Lake, you will access some of those areas that the public doesn't generally do on an as-needed basis because sometimes sometimes we have like archaeology or conservation projects that are going on out there because weirdly enough, as we talk about nature and all that, there's a abundant of human history out there too. With Native Americans and the buffalo hunting trails, and so we've got folks studying that out there sometimes. But generally, those parts of the refuge you don't get to traipse through. That's off limits. But as a friend, when those opportunities arise, you get to go be a part of that. So just a perk.
We have buildings out there that were built by the CCC.
Yeah.
Conservation Corps.
So another layer
back
of history.
in the 30s.
It's not, that's so more modern history, human history.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so that's what Bitter Lake's all about. So if you love that kind of stuff, you love history, you love nature, or just love the purpose of what they're doing out there, becoming a friend is a great way to doing that. And even your membership, just becoming a friend, your membership, all your money goes back to projects there at the refuge. Same thing when you go to the gift shop there and you're buying books or a T-shirt or a toy for the kids.
All the profits.
All that goes back to conservation efforts
in some way.
I know you and I talked a little bit last time, but as far as with the Doge impacts, are you guys seeing any kind of impacts of that out there? Or
keep your fingers crossed. So far we haven't had anybody eliminated from the staff at Bitter Lake.
Now,
at least at the
pull
last.
back the curtain. There's not a whole lot of people out there on that staff. Anyway,
That's right. Yeah, we're kind of cut back anyway.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're going to lose our manager. She has been our godsend for that refuge.
So some big shoes to fill there.
Yes, very much so. So for temporarily they have another manager coming in from
now, is that
another
a
spot.
Doge thing or just time to retire?
No, she actually there was an opening at another refuge.
A new opportunity.
Yes, a new opportunity.
Going on to bigger, better things.
Back in her home
her.
area.
So this is a win for her.
Very much, yeah.
Right on.
Right to a spot
I'm
where.
just worried that they said we no longer need you.
No,
Okay,
no.
good,
She's
good.
it's going to where she's got some background
She's
there.
connecting back to family and
Yes.
close to her roots.
Yes.
Ain't
So
nothing wrong
it'll
with
be great for her.
So we'll find a new person to fill that void here.
And actually, the one that right now, as far as I know, the one who is going to be filling in, and she's not going to be necessarily permanent. She might be, but I doubt it. She was the assistant manager a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And got an opportunity in Texas.
So pardon the pun, she's familiar with the dirt here.
Right. There
She
you
knows-
go.
She knows the lay of the land. Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
She,
very
very
cool.
much. I like that. She knows the dirt here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
cool.
she might be filling in for
Who
a
knows?
while.
Oh, good. Well, we welcome back.
Yep.
She can get her green chili fix.
There you go. There you go.
Because I know she ain't getting it right now in Texas.
No, she sure can.
You'd be amazed. Though. Like Sean and I were just talking about that yesterday. He was in El Paso for the weekend. And literally, right on the border, they didn't know anything about green chili. It's like,
What's the green chili? It's just across the street
go
there.
right over there. There's a restaurant. They got all that. It blew me away. It's like, really? The line is that important? Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
What you're hearing now is a lot of this Colorado green chili stuff.
Oh, yeah. Those guys are trying to muscle in on the game.
They are, but yeah, it'll never be the same.
I'll just say that's cute.
Yeah, good for Colorado, But we
Good
got
job,
it,
guys. Keep
we
it up.
got it. Yeah.
Don't come in and do it, but don't come in and claim it's better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, right. I mean, come on now. I mean, that's like saying,
History's on our side.
yeah, Michelangelo did his Sistine Chapel painting. Some guy walked in there and put a little heart on it and said, "Oh, this guy's better."
Yeah, right.
That's what they're doing. But anyway, as far as events, things, stuff for the public to get involved, is there anything on the radar that we want to put on people's radar here?
April 19th.
Yes.
And that is actually, it's the day before Easter.
So it'll be that Saturday before
we're
Easter.
gonna have, it's a trail cleanup. That is what do they call that? It's a national.
Oh, is it? Is it like Earth Day or
Earth
Arbor
Day.
Day?
That's
or one
what
of the
I
Earth
couldn't think
days?
of the.
Okay. Yeah, one of
Gee
the.
whiz! I'm here on Earth and I can't think of a name. Earth Day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Earth Day. Yeah, that's right. That sounds about right. Around the 19th. Yeah, Earth Day. So that's
Yeah.
So it'll be on Earth Day. You guys are going to have a trail cleanup event.
Yep.
Good deal.
And that will be start in the morning. We want to get it early because in mid-April it's starting to warm
I'll
up.
say by the
So,
afternoon it might be a little too warm out
It
there.
will
We're gonna
be, but
wanting to be digging out there, and the sun will be beating pretty
We'll
good.
clean up everything. We're going to see if we can put some flowers down and
A little planting?
Yep, and some milkweed.
We're not planting a flower garden or anything. We're planting native plants.
Native plants, and
That are
we
good
try to get the milkweed for this area.
Gotcha.
Every milkweed is I don't know, maybe it's all over the world, I guess, but different varieties of it everywhere you go. And the milkweed in a particular area is what the butterflies will go to. They don't necessarily eat the milkweed. That's where they lay their eggs.
Okay. So that's where they set up shop.
Yep. And the caterpillars, after the egg hatches, and the caterpillars and eat the milkweed then.
Okay.
So it's the caterpillars.
It offers shelter for the birds, and then lunch for the
babies.
For the babies.
Yep.
And,
that's
nice.
their nursery.
Nice.
And then they go into their chrysalis and come out and fly away.
See, Mother Nature's got the plan, man. They
know exactly what they're going to do.
Works like clockwork.
Yeah.
But you guys are kind of setting the table for mating season.
You got
opening
it.
up a few motels down there.
There you go. You got it. Yeah.
That's right. You get some Barry White going. We'll make it romantic.
What's this new thing? Some paradise place you're supposed to go visit. They're advertising it on TV.
Oh, really? Oh, is it like one of these Club Med type places, or Sandals Resorts?
Yellow something.
There you go.
Yeah,
I think I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah.
We'll turn into one of those.
We're turning one of those up for the butterflies. Yeah,
paradise marketing campaign.
Yeah,
where experience the luxury.
There you go. There you go.
It's in the bird marketing world right now.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. But so if people want to be a part of this, do they need to pre-sign up or anything, or just show up on that Saturday?
Saturday morning, 9:00. Come on out.
9 a.m. Come out to bid.
Bring on your gloves and your knee pads.
Okay. I'll say any tools or anything. Any rakes?
Yeah. If you want to bring your own rakes and stuff, we'll have some stuff out there. But if you want to bring your own too, that would be fine.
Sure.
And like I said, maybe these little shovels,
little spades, like
little spades,
gardening spades, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
To plant plants with. And we'll get things cleaned up and looking spruce and all ready to go.
Getting ready for mating season.
There you go. There you go.
Oh yeah. That's cool. But this is and this is the thing that Don and I always talk about is like this is kind of what's going on right now. But a couple months from now, it's a whole different vibe going on out at Bitter Lake, and then you hit the fall, and it's a whole different vibe. But then again, too,
that's right.
It really is. A trip to Bitter Lake is a unique experience every time, depending on the time of year you go. Like if you only come out September for Dragonfly Festival, you're missing 3 other beautiful seasons out there that are completely unique to your time of what you normally see out during there in September.
Right.
So it's really cool.
In the butterfly or the Dragonfly Festival. That's the tail end of the Dragonfly's summer existence. After that, they kind of go dormant for the year.
Gotcha. That's their kind of last summer hurrah, so to speak, or last hurrah for the season.
A month later, here comes the cranes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I don't know if anybody's going to remember. Here come the crane. Here come the crane.
So let's do a Fantasy Island. The cranes.
There you go. There you go. The cranes. So
OG Fantasy Island, not the reboots or whatever they've done since then. I have no idea what those are like, but Hervé Villachet, look them up.
Yeah, I'd like that old one.
Oh yeah, Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah,
Hervé Villachet. That's the way to go with Fantasy Island with his rich Corinthian leather.
So then they're around, and we have our Crane Festival in November.
Cranes and Cocoa.
That's in November.
I would probably argue maybe that's the second widely known event that takes place at Bitter Lake.
Very much so.
I mean, obviously the one seed's the Dragonfly, but I think coming in at a solid number 2 is the Cranes and Cocoa. So.
Yeah.
But there's stuff going on all year long, and here's the cool part too is we would love as the weather gets nice and you're looking for a place to kind of explore nature. Come on out, bring your family for the weekend. Come hike the trail, stay on the pass. You know, be good stewards out there.
Right.
But we would love to have folks come visit, see this beautiful oasis of nature in your own backyard here.
That's right. Go see nature's home.
Absolutely.
And bring your stuff with you, but everything you bring in, take it back out with you.
Now, if you want to camp and boat and do all that, head on over to Bottomless Lakes.
That's right. That's the recreational area.
Bitter Lake Refuge is there to become a observer of nature.
That's right.
To disturb it, to not be a participant in it, just to observe and see its wonders.
It's an oasis for the wildlife on their daily routines of passing through.
I also would want to throw this out there too, is all you scouters out there. They're always having there's a scout camp out there. Be honest, scouts are one of the few people that do get to camp out there from time to time.
Yes.
And it's because they got to do the scouting code. They go out there, and if you're scouting, leaving a place better than you found it, they come in and actually do work and service projects.
Clean it up.
And from I hear tell, if there's any young men or women that are on their Eagle service projects right now, Bitter Lake might have a few areas to point in your direction.
We can get you going.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's one of the few exceptions is the scouts come out and will camp out there to practice their scouting skills, to be a part of nature, to show these scouts how to be good conservers of our lands.
And our the Friends of Bitter Lake will assist the scouts because at scout camp, you remember we had some super floods out there a couple of years ago, and even the floods we had this year just exacerbated that whole situation. So that scout, it needs
a lot of rehabbing out there.
It needs to be cleaned up. So we need to get the scouts and some volunteers out there, and do some cleanup and get it back in good shape for.
And I'm telling you, if you're waiting for a federal employee to come do these things, you're going to be waiting a while.
No, we're just not going to have the people available.
This is you want something nice in your backyard, you got to come out and do it yourself.
They have too much else they've got.
And quite frankly, be honest. Let's use that money on more important things. Let we the people go take care of our yards here.
There you go.
Let us do that.
The money's going to have that last flood kind of wiped out the trail on the south end of the loop.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to hike down there on that south end, it's okay.
Sure,
but you got to understand that trail has been pretty much damaged and wiped out. So if you have pretty much at your own risk.
If you have mobility issues, that probably
don't even go. Don't even think about it. No.
You got young spry legs, you'll be all right. But
that's right.
You got some mobility issues, and you might want to avoid that part of the
until we can get that cleaned up. It's going to take a while.
Sure. Well, I mean, Mother Nature and God can do a lot of moving quick. We can't. It takes us a while to fix that kind of thing. The power of water and what it can do.
Look at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, exactly. Water builds the earth. I mean, you look at it, moves mountains. Literally.
That's right. Literally.
And so it takes a minute to get to fix up from some of that work.
Yeah.
But like you said, this is what if you want to get involved, you love this kind of stuff, you love being a part of, and you want to see and be really a part of these great thing in your backyard, I invite you. Come be a friend. Come volunteer. Whether it's just to serve on the board or serve in an admin capacity, or if you're like, no, I want to get in the dirt. I want to get my hands dirty. I want to go out there and build trails and plant plants and see the wonders of this park. We'd love to have you do that too.
Yep. You mentioned it, the board.
Yes.
We're always looking for new members on our board, and of course you join the Friends, but anybody can come observe one of our meetings.
Oh, it's an open
meeting.
The public meeting. Yeah.
First Wednesday of every month, we meet at the Roadrunner Trailer Park.
Okay.
They have the gathering building.
They have a meeting area.
Meeting building. As you first come into the park, they're on the right, first building. Right there. That's where we meet.
Okay.
First Wednesday at 6:00 each.
And I'll be here in about a week or two, actually.
Yes, that's right.
About 2 weeks, I think. Not next week, the week after. Here. So.
Yeah.
But and come learn and see what you can.
Maybe you can give us some ideas.
Yeah, where you can find your niche in the group here.
That's right.
Bit. And I also would invite folks to check out your website, www.friendsofbitterlake.org. And there you can obviously when Dragonfly Festival time, that's where you get your tickets and all that stuff for the various tours and things. But in the meantime, there you can learn all about what the Friends do, about Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, the roles, and see exactly, this is some stuff I'd really like to get involved with. Plus, if you want to make contacts with people, there's a way through there. I believe there's also a donation button on that website too, if you want to donate money.
I think we had to take that off because it goes through a PayPal thing.
I gotcha.
We had to nix that for a while.
But you know what? If you'd like to do that, I'm sure if you go down to the store and say, "Hey, I'd like to make a donation," I'd love a T-shirt, but I don't need one right now. But here's a donation. They'd love to take that off your hands.
There is, right as you walk in the nature store, you look to the left. There's a little house.
Oh, so you can just drop cash in there.
Little birdhouse. You can put your cash
in there. Like you want to write a check or something. I guess you could throw that in there too.
You can throw cash in there, yeah. no problem. Make it out to the Friends of Bitter Lake.
Yeah. I'm sure I didn't think about that, but yeah. I guess I'm so in the world of apps and digitally Venmoing money and
Right.
this and debit cards, and so I guess if you want to do some of that, maybe just buy something from the store and pay more than it. All right.
There you go.
Here's a T-shirt. It's $20. I'll give you $80 for it.
Yeah.
How about that?
Extra part. And there is now there at the nature store, they can separate out donations from purchases. So
good deal. So if you want to donate more high tech,
yes,
then go see the store there. But
There
in the
you
meantime, you can just drop a envelope.
and of course, there's forms there to join the
Yeah, if
Friends.
you want to be a friend, and then
Yep.
and of course, if you got time in your hands, check out the lake while you're there. Walk
There
around
you go.
and see some of the beauty that's that's going on right now. Maybe not today because of the wind, but on a day it's a little nicer.
A little rough. yeah. This is Mother Nature's cleanup this month. Next month she's going to water everything down.
That's right.
Yeah, and then she'll plant some flowers, and then after that she takes a vacation because it gets too hot.
Right. But come check out Bitter Lake in May.
That's
when you're going to kind of see a lot of the flowers, and that's kind of before it gets ungodly hot.
Yeah, that's right.
Once you hit June and July, then you're like, all right.
That's when she goes south.
Yeah. And then the best times to visit Bitter Lake then is dawn and dusk.
Yep. Early morning, right when just after the sun comes up.
Yeah.
You'll see the critters out looking for their breakfast, or if you stick around until the sun is just dropping down, you'll see some critters starting to come out and do their thing.
But it definitely, I bet it gets pretty noisy at night. There at Bitter Lake.
It does.
Yeah.
We have had some special events where you're there.
Yeah.
Normally, the refuge is open dawn till dusk.
That's right. It's
the
not open
gates,
to the public. Yeah.
Gates open.
Good news is if you get stuck, it'll let you out. It's like
They'll let you out. They won't let you in.
It's the opposite of the Roach Motel. It won't invite you in and don't come out. This one won't let you in, but it'll let you out.
Right. Yeah. But
if you remember the 70s, 80s Roach Motel raid commercials.
They had a deal there, a barking frog. And
okay.
There's a frog that comes out.
Does it bark like a dog sound? Or?
Yeah, you can actually hear barking. It's not very loud, but you have to really listen for it. But there are some areas that at particular times of the year, and I don't know the details on all this, something about moisture and all this stuff, but you can actually, the frogs will actually come out and bark. I think it's a mating call.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I believe they serve as baritones in the Frog Choir
there you go.
annual ensemble.
There you go. That's them.
But again, this is what we're talking about. There's so much cool things going on right here in your own backyard.
Yep.
Make a trip out there to see it, and see it at different times of the year. Come in the spring, come in the fall, come out in the most ungodly July and August one time just to see what it's like. And don't want to miss September, November for some of the big shows that happen at the Bitter Lake Refuge. Friendsofbitterlake.org. And then don't forget, April 19th, beginning at 9 a.m., come on out to Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge for a cleanup day. All are invited that want to get involved.
That's right.
Bring some work gloves. Bring some probably long pants and things, probably better.
Yeah.
Shorts, it might. You don't want to, for your own legs, protections from bugs and what have you and stuff like that. So, and if you want to bring your spades or rakes and things, but they will have some of that. But 9 a.m., mark it on your calendars, April 19th. It's Earth Day or Easter Eve.
Yeah, the day before Easter.
Between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. That's Saturday,
Earth Day.
Right there. So.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what they're going to have, but we usually have some kind of a snacky thing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe hot dogs. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Something, maybe just a sandwich or
any food trucks
cookies or
come
something.
Out to the refuge.
There
and
you
pop
go.
A visit
Maybe
in the parking lot. We'll
do
some
you
burgers
go.
or something.
Yeah, they come out.
Pizza or something.
We usually get out of there early afternoon, 12:1, something like that.
Come in and get there a little before 9, and then, like I said, plan to leave out of there 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, there you go.
So.
And like I said, we'll see what we've got to give you something to snack on after all your hard work.
That's right. You're gonna work up an appetite.
That's right. So.
Good deal. But Don, is there anything else? Did we get it all? Or
I think we pretty much got it.
Nice.
If there's anything else that the people want to do, if nothing, now you can call out there. Do I have that phone number with me? I'm sure I do.
How often do you actually use that number?
I know.
You never call
I never call it.
Right.
Well, it's in my phone, so.
And I'm sure it's on the website too.
Yes.
Again, friendsofbitterlake.org is the website.
I got it here. It's 625-4011.
Very good. 625-4011.
Right. Or 575-244-6256. That's probably a better number.
6266?
6256. 244-6256.
Excellent. So try either one of those, or like I said, you can go to Friends of Bitter Lake and reach out that way too.
Right.
Awesome. Well, Don, as always, appreciate it. I'm sure you got a few things blowing on your schedule this morning to take care of.
Yeah. I got to see what blew away yesterday.
Yeah, got to re-batten down some hatches.
Yeah. Go survey the fence line and see what's out there.
Go trip to Texas to get your stuff back.
You got it. Or Colorado.
Or Colorado, yeah, depending on the direction of the time. But thank you, Don, as always, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, 8:54. Let's pause for news and commercials and all that before more news.
News update. I'm Jared Cirillo. We begin today in Las Cruces, where police confirm 3 teenagers have been shot to death and 15 others were injured at a Las Cruces park. Gunfire erupted Friday night at Young Park in Las Cruces. The victims were Jason Gomez, Andrew Madrid, and Dominic Estrada. As of Sunday, 4 people, including a 15-year-old boy, had been arrested and charged with 3 open counts of murder, all of them. Police said the shooting happened during what they said was an unsanctioned car show when 2 large groups of people began fighting. The first ever Artesia Downtown Street Dance is planned for Thursday, March 28th. The event beginning at 6:30 p.m. following the main event car show cruise. Artesia Main Street is sponsoring the festivities. The dance will be held on 5th Street in front of Beige Veterans Park. Everyone invited to attend the event in downtown Artesia and enjoy an evening of live music, food trucks, and community fun as Artesia comes together to celebrate the musical arts. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good over the next couple of days. We do have a system moving in on Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. Might bring us some rain. For now, we'll stay sunny. Afternoon high today in the low 80s. Wind will stay light, 5 to 10 miles an hour. For the overnight hours, it'll be clear with mid-40s, and then we get sunshine on Tuesday. We're expecting mid-80s. Maybe an afternoon shower on Wednesday, high around 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The Roswell and Goddard baseball teams were at the same invitational this past weekend, the Artesia Invitational. Goddard ends up in the championship game, but the Rockets didn't like the result, losing to host Artesia 10-0, a game that only went 5 innings. Roswell actually gave Artesia a tougher time in the semifinals, losing 5-4 in 8 innings. Roswell then finished that up with a third-place victory, another 1-run victory over Lovington on Saturday by a score of 8-7. Jacob Palomino 3-for-4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Meanwhile, Goddard got into the championship of the Artesia tourney by defeating Lovington 9-4 on Friday. Cameron Brown, Donovan Davis both were 3-for-4 with a double in that contest. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Hey, Roswell, need a truck? You're in luck. Now is your time to buy a new Ford truck for a lot less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. For a limited time, get massive discounts on every new Ford and quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, plus 0% APR for 72 months and no payments for 90 days. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, so we're taking care of business. Big trucks, small trucks, work trucks, we've got them all for a lot less. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your loan or lease, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you, regardless of where you're at, for oil changes, tire rotation, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. Massive savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is 13.89 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinance and loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And we are closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to have Alfredo Garcia join us talking about Matanza Fest happening here in May. We'll have that about 8:15. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings of Light.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Fire crews across at least 3 eastern states have their hands full today amid tinder dry conditions.
Wildfires force a mandatory evacuation Sunday in a North Carolina county still recovering from Hurricane Helene. 3 wildfires are burning in Polk County. South Carolina's governor declaring an emergency in response to growing wildfires in that state. Voluntary evacuations are in effect. Hundreds of miles north, the New Jersey Forest Service was battling a blaze in the Wharton-Date Forest. I'm Julie Walker.
U.S. and Russian negotiators back at the table. The BBC's Frank Gardner says they're holding talks in Saudi Arabia on a partial ceasefire in Ukraine.
Russia has so far declined to sign up to the 30-day ceasefire agreed here in Saudi Arabia earlier this month between the U.S. and Ukraine. Now, this latest round of talks has a more limited set of aims: how to safeguard both countries' energy facilities and critical infrastructure, and perhaps come up with a deal over Black Sea shipping. Steve Witkoff, President Trump's envoy to the peace talks, said, "I think you're going to see some real progress in Saudi Arabia." But a Kremlin spokesman said, "We're only at the beginning of this path."
Israel's military says its strike on the largest hospital in southern Gaza targeted a high-ranking Hamas official who was being treated there. That individual was killed, according to Gaza health authorities. A plane load of nearly 200 Venezuelan nationals deported from the U.S. has landed in Caracas. The Trump administration sent the illegal aliens, including some suspected gang members, back to their homeland. The deportations come as the administration continues defending its deportation policies in court. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up close to 500 points, the Nasdaq 320 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Florida City is a magnet for those working from home.
Thousands of remote workers have moved to St. Augustine, Florida, transforming that city into one of the top remote work hubs in America. The percentage of remote workers tripled from 8% in 2018 to about 24% in 2023. Some attribute the population boom to Florida's lifting of COVID restrictions in the fall of 2020. The only fly in the ointment, difficulty in finding affordable housing. Jason Walker reporting.
Wildfires have hit several regions in western Japan, injuring at least 2 people, forcing dozens of residents to evacuate, damaging homes as hundreds of firefighters battle the widening blaze in the mountains. The fires in several western towns broke out yesterday, quickly charring hundreds of acres. Experts blame dry weather and dried up fallen leaves in the forest as likely causes of some of the fires. Townhall.com. It is a milestone anniversary of one of America's most historically significant speeches.
The date was March 23rd, 1775. The famous words were spoken by Patrick Henry, concluding his speech dramatically before the Second Virginia Convention with these words, "I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." Among those who heard were George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and several other influential U.S. founders. Henry's speech persuaded the convention to approve deploying its state troops for the eventual War of Independence, which began just a few weeks later at Lexington Green in Massachusetts, when the shot heard round the world began the American Revolution. George Williams reporting.
Former Congresswoman Mia Love of Utah, she was the daughter of Haitian immigrants, became the first black Republican woman elected to Congress, has died. She had been undergoing treatment for brain cancer. Mia Love was 49 years old. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Yeah, welcome to it.
Not as exciting, but if I could offer you a piece of something to look forward to.
Proverbial egg in this trying time.
Yes, exactly. It is Monday, but weather-wise, I think we're in store for a pretty beautiful week. Chance of some rain like Wednesday night, Thursday, which, yeah, all right. But like sunny 80s, and the key ingredient, it's not going to be real crazy windy this week.
No,
like,
supposed to.
Everything I'm seeing is like 5 to 10. You know, I think I maybe saw 15 in there every once in a while, but nothing to write home about.
15 doesn't exist, Mike. There's no such thing as 15.
16.
That's right. I saw a couple interesting things over the weekend.
Yeah?
I'm not a basketball person. I mean, I don't know if that's shocking that I'm not a sports guy. Is my chair slipping down?
Well, you're talking to probably the second least basketball person in the room. So.
But as I was waiting for my wrestling to begin on, because they split it up for Saturday and Sunday night.
You watched some of the tournament?
I watched the end of the Gonzaga game.
Yeah.
And
Lobos won.
I caught the tail end. Did they win? I thought they lost.
I thought they won.
I'm pretty sure they got knocked out by like 10 points. I think.
Let
me pull
Sorry
that up.
about that.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching and they won.
But no, more interesting.
I don't care. That's why I thought I saw they won.
Yeah, they lost 71-63 over under Michigan State.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, but two interesting things happened at the Gonzaga game. First of all, Gonzaga lost.
No,
like that's.
Were they
if
the
you
higher
follow, I'm pretty sure they're like one of the highest.
You're talking to someone who's.
Really but if you're somebody that follows, NCAA basketball, Gonzaga for the last like 10 years consistently has made it to the Final Four.
Yeah, I know they're a pretty good team. There's perennials like UNC, Duke, Georgetown, Villanova. Yeah. Those are teams.
So that they got knocked out that early,
kind
of surprising. The team that knocked them out, I believe, was Mississippi State, or maybe it was Texas. I'm not sure. Let's see who knocked Gonzaga.
There's always a few Cinderella games every year. There's like a 1 or 2 seed gets dropped by like a 10 seed or a 12 seed.
Oh gosh, darn it! Didn't pull up the score.
I know Maryland won their game.
But no,
72-71 at the last minute.
Interesting thing, I think that was, let's see. Okay. UH eliminated Gonzaga.
Sports guys talking basketball.
But the thing that caught my ear,
yeah,
one of the people on the team that beat Gonzaga, Houston, I think, University of Houston,
all right,
is the son of 90s rapper and member of the No Limit Army, Mace.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
And Mace and his family were there at the game. I just thought that's the first time I've even heard the name Mace in like 15 years.
Well, the boy, he's got the boy playing ball.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
They cut to him in the crowd. It was just funny because they actually had a chyron ready for him.
Yeah.
And it had the MA $E. I'm sure the guy's got a name. You can just say his name.
Why that on the back of his boy's jersey?
He's right.
Well, that's not his last name? Okay.
Nope.
Maybe it's a first name.
But, for a quick second, I was like, Mace. No Limit Soldier. He's bout about it and rowdy.
Yeah. But, I this is that time of year I get mad because shows I want to watch on like, man, CBS shows on tonight. Now it's going to be basketball. So I'm just not a basketball fan.
Yeah,
never been. Sorry.
It was, everything's going to get preempted. Sorry.
Yeah.
Good news is a lot of it's on TNT and TBS. So,
but during like, once they get to here, it'll be primetime nights on CBS like every night.
Yeah.
Right now. Like I'm pretty sure, I think it's CBS, but whoever's covering it this year, you can see what it's on.
I just imagine just half of the brackets in the country just destroyed Saturday night when Gonzaga lost.
Oh, I'm sure. That was a bracket buster.
Mhm.
Absolutely. You know what I saw that I thought was fascinating? Nothing to do with basketball. I'm not even sure how I feel about it.
Foxy boxing, actually.
No, I saw a thing on the internet
Mm-hmm.
that apparently there's a Japanese chocolate company that has now designed to serve you chocolate, like they would serve you Kraft American cheese slices, and you can literally get chocolate like.
So it's like a slice of cheese and
but
wrapped
it's
in plastic?
chocolate, yes,
Or chocolate,
like
yeah.
it's apparently
Really?
it's like the consistency of cheese. American cheese.
I don't know why you would want that.
I think you could make some cool s'mores and stuff with it. There's possibilities to do
Sure.
it. I could see you layering like pies or cake or something with it.
Maybe,
or-
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be like putting that on your meat sandwich, but you know.
I feel like though.
But I got to be honest. I ain't touching that thing until like Hershey or someone American does.
Right,
You know,
right.
Nestle, someone that chocolate company I've heard of. You know, from here. If they're going to try something.
Yeah, sliced chocolate. Huh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at the website here.
Yeah.
It says sliced chocolate for sandwiches. Life will never be the same again.
Now, for sandwiches, like, you know what? I bet if you slip one on a PB&J, that might be interesting.
Bourbon, a Japan-based company, has started to sell chocolate slices packaged like Kraft cheese singles. Each contains 5 2mm inch thick or 2mm or eighth of an inch thick slices. So yeah.
So
it's $27 for a 12 5 slice packs though. So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, they are coming from Japan at
Yeah.
this point. So like I said, I'll wait till Hershey Company knocks one of these out or something like that.
I gotta.
I feel like why are we just now doing that? Like
That's
in the
what I'm
world of
saying.
what
It's
we live in.
2025. I
Yeah.
feel like we put a man on the moon. How are we just coming up with sliced chocolate?
Yeah. It is.
That's real bass backwards, man.
It does seem like like the swamp cooler.
Right. We have better technology. Why are we still doing this?
That's right.
I'm still over here slicing my chocolate like a sucker.
Just melting my Hershey bar.
Yeah.
Like a savage. But I thought that was interesting. And I'm like, I, on certain things, it might be but I could see people taking that down a nasty road.
I still have to procure it, but I also it's part of it is justifying spending the money in my head. There's a place here in town that makes the Dubai chocolate.
Oh,
the viral pistachio chocolate. It's $17 for a bar, and I really want to try it. I really want to bring it in here on the air and try it, but it's really hard to wrap my mind around.
I'll give you $20. We'll go grab the bar.
It's the principle of the thing, Mike. That's the point.
I know, but for the sake of the job.
Yeah, for the sake of. I mean, I guess I could get a receipt.
We will eat expensive chocolate.
I could get a receipt and write it
Gene
off.
pay for it.
Yeah, have Gene pay for it. Gene, I have a couple of receipts to submit. This is from a trip to a game I had last month, and this is for a chocolate bar that we tried on the radio.
That's right.
Go away? Okay, thanks. Got it, thanks.
We don't even get to turn in fuel receipts. Like some people around here.
Right?
Not jelly. All right, we probably should get the hour going before I start yelling at somebody else. It's been a theme lately, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. We're going to have I know Alfredo's here to join us, and there might be another gentleman as well. Hear multiple voices. I don't know. But we're going to talk Matanza Fest for Roswell here happening in May 10th. And if it's really pretty interesting. The whole, it's steeped in the, kind of the Spanish, like conquistador, bring when they were coming and settling here in New Mexico and kind of steep, And I believe this is like a competition, like a pig roast. It's kind of because tradition is like a big pig roast,
right?
So I think they're doing like a cook-off.
Ooh, all right.
We'll learn you here in a few minutes. We'll talk all about it here in just a few. Plus, we'll get you up to date with the news is and all that. But before we do anything else, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good over the next couple of days. We do have a system moving in on Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. Might bring us some rain. For now, we'll stay sunny. Afternoon high today in the low 80s. Wind will stay light, 5 to 10 miles an hour. For the overnight hours, it'll be clear with mid-40s, and then we get sunshine on Tuesday. We're expecting mid-80s. Maybe an afternoon shower on Wednesday, high around 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds are calm at the moment. Nice day today. No complaints from me. Sunny skies. High of 86 today. So it's going to be warm. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight with an overnight low of 46 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny skies, 86 once again for a high tomorrow. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday night, clear, overnight low of 48 degrees. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. A smidge cooler for Wednesday, but still plenty nice. Partly cloudy, 79 for high on Wednesday. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday night, we are looking at a chance at some showers, a 30% chance at showers, even early evening up to midnight. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 53. A 50% chance of showers for the afternoon on Thursday. Partly cloudy, 74 for a high there. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies and a high of 85. And for the weekend, sunny and 82 for Saturday. Mostly sunny and 80 on Sunday. All right, it is 16 minutes after 8. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then we're going to talk Matanza Fest here in Roswell, coming up in May. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The need for American-made energy is forecasted to increase by over 50% over the next couple of decades. Coyote Willow Energy Park is a resilient, clean, and affordable solution to this increasing demand being planned in Chavez County. Join us at the Coyote Willow Energy Park Open House to learn more about the role Chavez County can play in meeting the need for an increased supply of reliable domestic energy. The project will provide a significant amount of new local job opportunities, millions of dollars of new local tax revenue, and local investments. Plus, it helps lower greenhouse gas emissions and improves grid reliability. It's a win for the local economy and the future of Chavez County. Stop by the Chavez County Joy Center in Roswell on March 27th between 5:30 and 8 p.m. Meet the team, ask questions, and discover how Coyote Willow Energy Park is powering a brighter future for Chavez County. Visit www.coyotewillowep.com to learn more and RSVP. Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assistant, nursing, and respiratory therapy. Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assisting, nursing, and respiratory therapy. ENMU Roswell can prepare you for a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. ENMUR stacks courses in order to get the student into a job as quickly as possible while creating a pathway for more advanced certifications, licenses, and degrees. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here. Artesia Main Street is bringing the fun to downtown. On Friday, March 28th, following the main event car cruise, enjoy the Downtown Street Dance with live music from Mammoth Cults. Plus food trucks, great tunes, and an evening of nonstop fun, all with free admission. Don't miss the Downtown Street Dance with music from Mammoth Cults happening Friday, March 28th, 6:30 p.m. in the heart of downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Telephone scammers are targeting energy consumers. They demand payment over the phone or warn the power will be shut off immediately. Don't fall for these scams. Central Valley Electric Cooperative will never demand payment over the phone. Please, never give out financial or personal information to someone who calls claiming to be CVE. If you get such a call or have a question about your bill, call CVE at 575-746-3571 to get the facts.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning to talk Matanza Fest, Alfredo Garcia with us this morning, and John Erard. I was almost there, just a little.
You were close.
The tongue just went just that way a little bit. We would have had it. But good morning, gentlemen. How are you all today?
Morning. Good, thanks.
Good
morning. How are you?
Good. John, let's put that up just a little closer to you, because sometimes those mics.
Sure. How's this?
That should do. I always tell people to eat them, and we got to talking about antiquated systems and not what we were going to do next on the radio. So,
speaking of which,
that's right. Welcome to it. Never mind. Just kidding. But folks, I think if you're native to New Mexico, you're probably familiar, or at least south, from this part of the country, I guess you could say, New Mexico in particular. You're really familiar with Matanza Fest in some. It's done in parts of the state and things, but I think for people that aren't native, I've been here about 25 years, so I'm not native, but I've been around long enough to know a thing or two. So, but kind of explain the history behind this event that we've got scheduled here on May 10th, because it really is. This goes back to like Spanish settling of New Mexico, and so we're talking like 1600s history. All right, we even got like U.S. history beat on this one
by a little bit.
Exactly, just by a smidge here. But yeah, kind of give us a little bit of background about the fest.
Okay, so a Matanza Fest is a tradition that was brought into New Mexico by the conquistadors, and this is a tradition that was put in place over 400 years ago. They felt that it was necessary to have community.
Sure.
And what other way
you break bread with folks?
Yes.
That's how you. That's why you think you go to church and you always bring food, because that's how you.
That's correct.
Sitting down over a meal is the best way to meet people and resolve differences.
And it was a celebration after the harvest had taken place.
Kind of like a Thanksgiving fest almost.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
That's exactly right. And Don Juan de Oñate, who was the last conquistador, brought pigs and chili to the Rio Grande Valley.
And boy, howdy, do we love them pigs.
And man, are we glad.
Yep. God bless those pigs.
And God bless Don Juan.
That's right.
So we've got that is a classic matanza. They would do a hog killing, and actually, if you look at it, it goes even further back.
It goes back into the early centuries.
Gotcha.
After Christ in Spain.
Gotcha.
That's where it started, and Don Juan de Oñate brought it with him. It's been here in New Mexico about 400 years. Now, here's the interesting thing. That's a matanza. A hog killing is a matanza.
Gotcha.
Well, we also have Cinco de Mayo Festival,
Mm-hmm.
which the Roswell Hispano Chamber of Commerce has held here for ages now.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Alfredo is the president of the Roswell Hispano Chamber of Commerce.
Very good.
So the Horseshoe Nails Brigade, which is originally set up the matanza,
Okay.
and the Roswell Hispano Chamber of
So,
Commerce.
hey, we should partner up.
We've partnered up,
Yeah.
and we're doing Matanza Fest.
Great. So this is kind of, so think of Cinco de Mayo meets a barbecue picnic.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
It's the love child.
Yes. Exactly.
But it's really so. And this is where the thing I think is where this isn't just a hog fest where you're roasting hog. There's a tradition. There's a certain way to meet the matanza, the way they cook the pig, and everything from the way it's dressed to how it's prepared. Because you get depending on what part of the country you're from, and you say you cook hog where you're at. Oh yeah, and everyone's got a different way they do it. You know what I mean? And so from Matanza Fest, I'm assuming you're not going to see a butterfly like you would maybe in another part of the state. So
that is correct. Well, and we're actually having our aim is to have 15 teams participating in the Matanza Fest. So we're actually going to have the chance to taste the culinary skills.
So we'll be all right. Now, it's cooked the same way, but the devil's in the details.
That is correct.
And the spices, what you mix with it, how you. Maybe you cook it this way for a little longer. It's just like barbecue.
That is correct.
Exactly.
Everybody's recipe is under lock and key.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is the Hispanic May in Memphis.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So I'm very curious. Is there is it now when we get to this side? Is there really like a competitive is there people that compete professionally doing this kind of stuff? Like you would with the Kansas City Barbecue Society, or is this more family? I would imagine what we're going to see on May 10th here is locals. Hey, bring your family recipes here. But I didn't know if there was like an actual circuit where folks compete in Matanza cooking and for like prize money and stuff. Does it go that level?
Well, they're going to be competing for prize money.
Sure,
with
here.
us.
But I
Yes.
didn't know if there was like a professional you know what I mean? Like the level of Kansas City, like we turn on Discovery Channel,
Yeah.
and there's like a fest of the barbecue pit masters. I didn't know if it got that high with them.
I don't know that we have organized it to that point
Okay.
yet, but it is our aim to
I'm
make
just saying,
it something big.
Might
That
be
is
some
correct.
interesting. I could just see that catching on as too big as something like that, where you're doing Matanzas all around the state, competitions,
Correct.
all kinds of stuff.
What's happening is that it's starting to develop.
So we're in the ground floor of this.
We're in the early stages of it, but it is starting to develop. Of course, the granddaddy of them all is the Valencia County Matanza Fest.
Yes, that's
Matanza.
Probably the one that's got the most spotlight on it.
That is correct.
The balloon fiesta of the Matanza.
Yes, there you go. There's one in Socorro. I know that Corrales has tried one, and now Roswell.
Bring it on.
We want to be the biggest and the best.
So your hat in the ring kind of thing.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So we're kind of building that. We're building that, who's got the best green chili kind of mindset here. It's what we do. Kind of, but we're going to do it with who's got the best Matanza. And
That is correct.
Cool. This sounds like so. Now accepting applications, I guess you could say, to bring on your family recipe and see if it can hold up against everybody else.
Calling all cooks.
Good deal.
Calling all culinary devotees.
Yeah.
Calling everybody. Come to the Matanza Fest. Come and cook. And bring your family recipes now.
Absolutely. I'm going to guess there's going to be some like younger folks that their grandparents have a recipe, and they might have to bring them out of retirement. They'd be like, "Oh man, grandma or grandpa used to do this, and man, it was so."
Abuelito, abuelita.
Yep.
Come on down, bring them out. I think because I know because a grandkid that ain't quite got the recipe mastered, or they're eaters, not cookers.
Yeah, there you go.
Count me in.
Right. Well. I try to cook, but I'm a better eater than I am a cooker.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yes, sir.
Well, the thing that they need to know, though, is that there are going to be 5 categories that they'll have to cook.
Okay.
And that is pozole, carnitas,
okay,
carne adobada,
okay,
and chicharrones.
Oh, man.
That's
Yes.
4.
Yeah.
And the 5th one, I haven't told anybody what it is. It's
Okay.
a surprise. It's a
Secret.
mystery basket.
Okay. So be prepared for anything on that one.
But it's all traditional New Mexico food.
Right. And I imagine, too, of course, for folks, if you're in, so you got to, if you're going to enter, you know, like you said, it's like all the kind of getting back to, you know, when I was talking about the barbecue competitions, they do the same thing. You know, they got to compete in brisket, you know, ribs, chicken, kind of same kind of here, pozole. You know, it's so, you know, if you're a one-trick pony, you got to get some more tricks.
And that is what we're aiming for.
And but it sounds like this is really cool, and it's going to be and I'm gonna, you know, of course, once you sign up, and then there'll be meetings, and then you'll know what the judges will be judging by, and the standards they're basing on your pozole on, and what's the, you know, taste kind of whatever criteria the judges are using, they'll explain all that.
Well, all of that information is on our website.
Excellent.
Yes, sir. We have all the rules and regulations. We have the deadlines for when you sign up. We have the ease
Got a clock to kind of 46 days, 23 hours, 29 minutes, and 14 seconds.
We can always add milliseconds if you want to be more exact.
No, 8. But yeah, it's got everything you need to know until how much time you got left till Roswell Matanza.
Yeah, and I mean, in all reality, we're doing this event because we're trying to do. It's a nonprofit, the Horse and Nails Brigade, and we want all of this money to go towards.
Talk a little bit about. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish it.
To our education initiatives.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about what the Horseshoe Brigade is and what kind of nonprofit work the organization does.
About 2 years ago, I was at a meeting, and I heard some statistics that caused me to say, I can't sit back and not do anything anymore. Mm-hmm. I need to get up and do something. And the statistics that I heard was Chaves County is 67% Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
The Hispanic high school graduation rate is 65%.
That's not good.
And I have had many people, including educators, tell me that I'm wrong, that number is way too high. Okay? In addition to that...
So we're going to do something about that.
The other statistic that we heard was our middle schoolers, relative to the rest of the nation, in terms of proficiency for language arts, are below 50%. And as Colonel West, the chief of staff at NMMI...
I think a lot of people, if you've been anywhere around that campus, know that very well, yes.
He is our president. He's our board president. Colonel West said, if you can't read, how can you do mathematics? So the mathematics proficiency rate for our middle schoolers is roughly 24%.
Which makes sense. If the other number isn't jiving, then obviously the other one's going to be worse, because that's, like you said, you can't teach math if you can't read.
Absolutely. So when I heard those numbers, I said, I've got to do something. I didn't know what I was going to do, but then I heard about IPA, NMMI Intermediate Preparatory Academy, and it's a middle school with much higher standards. And so I said, this is it. This is what this is where we're going to start.
And they've got a year or two under their belt now, and they're growing and getting bigger and kind of getting settled in and kind of almost to their full potential what they want to do with this prep school.
Yes. Next year they'll be complete. They'll be there. Now here's the interesting thing about that. By the time those kids reach 9th grade, they are required, according to Dr. Leacock, who is the head of school there, by the time they reach 9th grade, they will be expected to be able to read Virgil's Aeneid in Latin.
I don't think I couldn't do it.
Well, I can tell you I couldn't.
Right?
but anyway, so
by you guys coming out and really showing off your family recipes here, and we're at the end of the day, we're trying to get money to get these programs going, to change these numbers, to get more more Hispanic kids back.
More kids in our community.
And that's just it, too. These numbers, it's all across the board. None of the numbers are good, regardless of race, whatever you want to break it down to.
Yeah.
All of it needs to be higher. And that's what these kinds of programs, these kinds of coming out and spending time together, eating some great food and just hanging out and bragging. Ain't going to lie, there's going to be a lot of bragging.
So let me give you the backstory on this, a little bit of the backstory. So I went out and I knocked on doors myself. And I raised $17,500.
You knew the right doors to knock on.
Last year.
That's awesome.
By just asking people, would you be willing to, and telling them about these statistics and these numbers. And everybody understands the impact, the future impact on our community with these numbers.
And it's going to be more knowledge. I mean, as the technology, as the world changes, the more you're lacking in the fundamentals, the farther you're going to be left behind.
Yeah. So we took that $17,500, gave it to the IPA. The IPA used it for their kids for lunches and supplemental expenses. And for an entire year, we covered that. Now, the interesting part is 85% of those kids are of color, and 85% of those kids come from economically distressed households.
Sure. There's other variables that are contributing to their lack of getting a good foundation.
So we spoke with a number of people, and they said, we need to broaden this out. And that's why now we are
partnering with us.
Kind of getting it together and just saying, all on board, more. And that's really, the many hands make, and this is really the more visibility, more, and this is about your own community. Is what it, that's what it boils down to. Regardless, we can play the games of, who came from where and all this. These are about people that live in your community that we're trying to make our community better, and this is how we do it. So,
well, we are trying to change the trajectory of education in Chaves County for exactly that reason.
Good deal.
So
come eat some meat.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, and there's a lot more to it than that. We've got a cornhole competition.
Oh, yeah. So that's a bevy of bragging rights aplenty.
Oh, yes.
Whether you're cooking or cornholing or doing something else.
And we have a spectacular car show.
Yeah, that's the part that you're going to want to come for the pretty. I mean, the smells will draw you in, but then you got a lot of eye candy with these beautiful cars that are going to.
Oh, yes.
And there is as much family tradition as that meat you're going to be eating in some of those cases.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
And we're also having a bike show.
That kind of goes hand in hand because a lot of folks will kind of do sets. They'll do the car and the bike. If it's the bicycles or the motorcycle, I've seen both. And they'll it's a package deal. It kinda,
Yes.
It's like the whole, sorry, fellas, it's like the whole Barbie dream set. The Corvette, the camper.
Yes, sir.
I think you've got an idea there.
Yes.
We need to do a camper show.
There you go. Why not? So, and that's all going to be now. May 10th is the date. Where's it all going to be at for folks to come and do all that? Where is it?
It's going to be held at the Southeast New Mexico State Fair.
Very good. So they're at the fairgrounds.
That is correct.
So because it sounds like you're going to need some room, and that's about the most room we got for an event like this.
Yes, sir.
So
we're going to have mariachis there. We're going to have ballet folklorico.
Oh, if you've never seen folklorica dancing, even if you don't know a thing about the history and everything, the colors, the pageantry, the excitement, you're going to enjoy it. You don't have to understand a thing about it.
Yep.
But when you see it, it's just a sight for the eyes. The dancing, the dresses,
it's a culinary and a cultural event.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think you see it and then talk to them afterwards. Learn the history. That again, everything we're talking about here is
New
steeped in
Mexico
tradition stuff. The folkloric dancing, even the car show, the cars, everything about this is New Mexico history. Some of it's 1600, some of it's 1950s, but some a little bit in between.
Very, very definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
All of the money is going to go to skilled trades at ENMUR to develop skilled trades and help them build those trades, and to NMMI, Advanced Academics and Military, and also the IPA.
All I'm saying is with the Reno Air Races and some of these things coming to town, there's a lot of skilled trades you could take advantage of to learn and make a good living for yourself and family right here in Roswell.
Mike, that is exactly the idea. It's exactly
Whether
the
it's
idea.
turning wrenches on an airplane or an air conditioner, either way, it's going to help you very much.
Yep. A very good living.
Yes. And you don't have to go to 4-year college and end up with $100,000 in debt.
And to be honest, once you get it at Eastern, walk into the financial aid office, fill out your ass before, and it doesn't matter if you're going for degree plans or whatever. Based on what you're training for, all that, you can find all kinds of free money on top of. So please, if this lights your fire to start some of these kind of STEM mechanical related stuff, the college will help you find more money too. So don't keep turning over every rock you can find. And I don't care if you're 50, 18, come from the richest family on the planet, or a family that can't rub two nickels together. You should be in that office doing all of that.
That is an incredibly important point that we're trying to stress. Yes, we are focused a lot on middle schoolers because they're the most malleable, they're the most open to change and different ideas, right? But we also have the high schoolers with that 65% Hispanic high school graduation rate that we have to change.
And you can't succeed without. It's hard with just a high school diploma, even in this world.
Yes, it is.
Without one, it's really, really hard, and so that's the key.
And that brings us to the next point, and that is the 25 to 55-year-old that wakes up one day and says, I really wish that I had finished my GED, and I really wish that I had a skilled trade. That's where ENMUR
absolutely
comes in. Now, I'd like to recognize the folks that have supported us.
Yeah.
And that is New Mexico Military Institute.
Oh, yeah.
Eastern New Mexico.
Well, some of the people involved, they're running the show over. So you're getting, to be honest, if anybody knows anything more about education, it's some of the people very much involved at the top of this.
Oh, Mike, no question about it. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, the city of Roswell has been incredibly supportive. Thank you, Hess Eintema. Thank you, Tim Jennings. We appreciate the support.
It's got to be collaborative for things like this to work. So
Church on the Move has been very, very supportive. The Imperials, the car club, Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds is supporting us tremendously.
Nice.
And there are a lot of individuals, wealthy individuals behind the scenes that are supporting this with their own money. So it's truly a community event.
Absolutely.
And a community effort.
And this is where I always go to, and I say this 1,000 times on this show, and I'm probably going to say it 1,000 more. These are the types of events that we, the community, need to put. Like, if you're waiting for your community to be better and you're waiting on your government to do these kinds of things, then I got a very bad news for you. You're going to grow a long beard and have a foot in the grave before you're even going to even hint at maybe getting a result. The only way our town gets better, our community gets better, is we, the community members, roll up our sleeves and get involved to make it better. And that's why supporting events like this, if this is your passion, then you dive in 1,000% and get involved here. If you can't, and I get it, not all of us have thousands of dollars to donate. We don't. But you know what we can do? Come on out and compete in these events. Raise the awareness. That's the money's a big thing, but the awareness, the event, the people coming together, educating others. And why are you here? What are we doing this about? Oh, we're raising money for this. You know how bad this thing is? That is just as important as the dollar sometimes, to make people aware of what's going on in your own backyards and what can we do to make it better.
And that definitely raises another point. You are absolutely correct. Awareness is such an important thing. We held an event, and I forgot, by the way, to recognize one of our biggest supporters.
You don't want to miss that one.
And that is the Roswell Hispano Chamber of Commerce. They have been.
Well, see, they're partners, so now you're kind of like, they're in it with me. We're sinking or swimming together.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, we're trying to contribute as much as we can because we believe in the goal that they have in mind.
You're on the server's heart side of this one here, and and that's what this is about. And that's why, so this is what we're hoping is, we're talking about this thing now, and we're hoping that in like a couple years from now, this is as commonplace as Chili Cheese Fest, is Cinco de Mayo, as UFO Festival. Or
that is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, or any of our other Reno Air Races, or many of our other.
That's a better one to compare. That's what we want to get to.
As well known as these events are or will be. That's where we want to put this one.
And the Reno Air Races have supported us.
Good.
So
good.
You talked about awareness. The Roswell Hispano Chamber of Commerce held a seminar a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And there were 30 people there, more or less, and speakers from the Small Business Development Corporation and also the Chris Bullard down at CD. And I always forget what that means, but the Community
Small
Development
business,
Workforce.
It's all about economic growth.
That's correct.
In that umbrella.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, after both of them spoke, and they did a very good job speaking, I went in front of the group, 30 people, and I asked them to raise their hand, and I said, how many of you have heard of these programs that these two gentlemen talked about? And they talked about a lot of programs. You know how many they've got.
I've had them on the show talking about them over the years here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not a hand went up.
Yeah.
And that tells me that you were spot on, Mike. Yeah. Awareness is really something that we need and we don't have.
And in this day and age, like it, love it, or hate it, you got to make it a little sexy to get it awareness. And that's why I think this is what I love about this, because this pardon the pun, it makes it sexy.
Mike,
Matanza Fest, what better than coming out and, taking some of New Mexico's oldest traditions that I don't care if you're 800 or 8, you're part of. Everybody can relate to it, and I don't care what anybody says. No one sits around and says, I hate sitting around with family and friends eating great food. And really, that's what, there's going to be competitions. There's going to be bragging rights, of cornhole and all that, but this is how we make our community better. This is how you learn about it. People don't learn about it by saying, here, there's this PDF I printed off. Read this at your leisure. That ends up going in the garbage. So, but when you're sitting around at an event like this talking, then you can wet beaks. Then you can get people, and that's when they say, this does make me mad. Hand me that PDF again. And you know what I mean? That's what we're talking about here. So this is how it starts. So come out and start. Even if you don't have maybe you're a cornholer, maybe you're not a pig roaster, but whatever you're into, or if you're just an eater, come on out and celebrate.
Enjoy the food.
You talk about sexy. What's sexier than pork?
That's right.
I know there's many a men who landed their spouses with bacon.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
There's magic in the pork.
There you go.
But again, May 10th is going to be the day of the event. It's going to be at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Give out the website if you don't mind one more time here. And
it's easy. MatanzaFest.com.
Very good. Because I was just going to say, just Google Matanza Fest Roswell, but you don't even have to do that, .com, because that's exactly what I did, and it was the first thing that popped right up. But there at the website, you can read more about not only the history and what of Matanza and going back to the conquistadors and all that, but also learn about the different competitions you can sign up in, from the cooking side to the cornholing side to the car. I guess the car show is mostly through the car club and their guys, but if you have a car to go, you can. Is that through the website too, or?
No, I do not believe that we have a form for the car. However, you can reach out to us, and we can. Yes, that's
correct. They can put you together on that. Yep. But if you want to cornhole or if you want to compete, then you can find all of the sign up sheets, vendor forms, all the stuff you need to be a part of that. The rules on competing, because I imagine since it's a competition, and you're serving to the public, there's going to be some rules that you have to meet.
Oh, very definitely. There's a manual on the website for the cooking teams.
So that is just to be forewarned. There, if there's going to be a part that you get frustrated about, is because you're serving to the public or judges. That's considered serving to the public. You have to meet like the health and safety standards of a food kitchen or a food truck or something like that.
And there's going to be LP gas inspections. There's also going to be the
everything going to be above board.
Fire Marshal Olive is going to be there inspecting, and his team inspecting. So we're going to have to go through some of that bureaucratic stuff, but it won't take long.
Sure.
And as long as you're there at the right time, it'll go easy. It'll go fast.
Absolutely. But I just want to forewarn you, because I know there'll be a few people that they want to show up, and that's not how we do it in Mama's Kitchen. But I get that, but you're not in Mama's Kitchen, right?
That is correct.
Although we think Mama's Kitchen makes great
Ain't
stuff.
gonna be anything wrong about it, but these lawyers make things different now.
Yes, sir, they do.
Well, we might do some things to lawyers. It could be another event.
There you go. It's a different tone.
So I would the one thing about the website that I would say is it's spelled Matanza.
Yes.
Matanza.
For us gringos, we want to put that N before the T.
That's
and that's not. It's M-A-T.
Yeah,
I did. I start. No, not right. I do it every time because in our head it's Montaza. No, it's
No,
Matanza. But us
Matanza.
gringo head it's Montaza. For some reason, we tend to reverse things like that.
A little bit.
We apologize. We try.
Listen, if you come to the Matanza Fest and you eat all of the dishes that we're going to have available, you'll be able to speak Spanish without a problem.
The spice. Although I've had my fair share of chili over the last 25 years. It's not for lack of trying. But again, go to the website, matanzafest.com. And is there like a Facebook page too for those?
We
who
also
do?
have a Facebook
So
page.
look for it on Facebook.
And I believe we also have an Instagram page.
Okay, so for those users of Facebook and Instagram, check it out there. If you generally get your information through that, you can find that, including links to the website for signups. Because at the end of the day, it's going to put you back to the website.
That is correct.
To sign up for the forms and what have you. But that way, and I'm going to take a stab at if somebody's just listening and wants to still sponsor, I'm sure there's a way we can.
They're always welcome.
Find a way for you to get involved in that way. So if you're just listening, I just heard about this and I'd love to be a part of it. I'm sure you can reach out to either one of these two gentlemen. You can reach out direct to John here. This is where you can call him direct at 847-636-0931 or email him hsnbrigade@gmail.com. And that's for Horseshoe Nails Brigade there too. Of course, you can always come by the Hispano Chamber as well.
That as well.
And
That's
we'll
correct.
take care of you too. Either way, we'll get you there. So.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Is there any information, anything we wanted to share that we just either got sidetracked on or just didn't get a chance to talk about that you want to make sure we let the public know about?
Well, the Matanza is going to start at 8 in the morning.
Okay.
It's
It's an all-day affair.
an all-day
We got
event.
so into the meats, and it's like 8 to what, like 6 or
11.
11 at night. Yeah, it goes all day there.
And we're going to have a beer garden as well.
So yes, you'll be all right. Plenty of refreshments for you.
We're
for the whole week.
expecting 100 plus cars on the car show.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So you got a lot of time.
Yes.
So in between that slow cooking meat, you got a lot of things to do while you're waiting for the meat to cook.
Or walk around to let go of some of that.
That's right. You've got to release.
Yeah.
See, guys,
That's
you're
correct.
dusting over here.
Yeah.
You can do circuits.
Stay out of the car show area when you do that, please. There's a lot of people over there. Yeah. Maybe go walk. There's a lot of room out the fair. Maybe go see the pastures out there. When you do that. It's a good time to check out the livestock ring. Very good. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. And I'm sure we'll see you here a time or two between now and May 10th just to get people on the radar. But what is the deadline to again, one more time?
April 10th.
April 10th. So we're here about a week and about a little less than 2 weeks away here.
That is correct.
From getting signups on that. So thank you guys. And can't wait to eat your meat.
Mike, thank you very much for
Thank
the
you.
opportunity. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And folks, get involved. I know we're joking and having fun with all the meat and stuff, but we're really, at the end of the day, this is to really make our community better, to get an opportunity, for these next generations of kids to have more opportunities than the current ones have. And that's what we're trying to do.
We're trying to change the trajectory of education here in Chaves County.
Absolutely. One pig at a time.
That's right.
One happy bale.
One minuto at a time. One pasole at a time, rather. So thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us,
Thank you
Mike.
very
Anytime,
much, Mike.
anytime.
Appreciate it.
Anytime. It is 8:52. Let us pause for news and a few commercials to pay for my pig fest. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. News this hour is brought to you by Hippie Chicks. Looking sharp has never been easier. At Hippie Chicks, we got name brands like Michael Kors, Kenneth Cole, Couture, Allure Men, and Mod to fit your size and style for men's suits, tuxes, and formal wear. Order before April 1st for a chance to win $100 cash. Visit Hippie Chicks today at 802 South Main Street. Look for the VW Bug.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. We begin today in Las Cruces, where police confirm 3 teenagers have been shot to death and 15 others were injured at a Las Cruces park. Gunfire erupted Friday night at Young Park in Las Cruces. The victims were Jason Gomez, Andrew Madrid, and Dominic Estrada. As of Sunday, 4 people, including a 15-year-old boy, had been arrested and charged with 3 open counts of murder, all of them. Police said the shooting happened during what they said was an unsanctioned car show when 2 large groups of people began fighting. The first ever Artesia Downtown Street Dance is planned for Thursday, March 28th. The event beginning at 6:30 p.m. following the main event car show cruise. Artesia Main Street is sponsoring the festivities. The dance will be held on 5th Street in front of Beige Veterans Park. Everyone invited to attend the event in downtown Artesia and enjoy an evening of live music, food trucks, and community fun as Artesia comes together to celebrate the musical arts. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The Roswell and Goddard baseball teams were at the same invitational this past weekend, the Artesia Invitational. Goddard ends up in the championship game, but the Rockets didn't like the result, losing to host Artesia 10-0, a game that only went 5 innings. Roswell actually gave Artesia a tougher time in the semifinals, losing 5-4 in 8 innings. Roswell then finished that up with a third-place victory, another one-run victory over Lovington on Saturday by a score of 8-7. Jacob Palomino 3-for-4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Meanwhile, Goddard got into the championship of the Artesia tourney by defeating Lovington 9-4 on Friday. Cameron Brown, Donovan Davis both were 3-for-4 with a double in that contest. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished higher on Friday in what was a choppy session. The S&P 500 seesawed a bit in late afternoon trading. It's been a rough go for the benchmark index as it looked to try and avoid a 5th straight down week, but quiet Friday in terms of economic data. Concern for the broader economy as tied to trade and tariffs has stocks taking a beating recently. Traders were prepped for a volatile session at the end of the week, given this is one of those so-called quadruple witching times. Stock options, index options, and index futures, as well as single stock futures expiring. Goldman Sachs had estimated more than $4.7 trillion of national options were set to expire during trading on Friday. In company-specific news, as e-vehicle giant Tesla continues to see its share price come under pressure, it's at least partially in connection to the activist campaign against its CEO Elon Musk. But Musk on Friday told his employees to hold their shares as he hit out at vandals that have attacked Tesla dealerships, and Tesla's share price popped for the session. It was up over 5%. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Donate now to Toys for Tots, working year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, has provided over 60 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
Spring is here, and we're turning up the heat during the Sizzling Spring Sales event at Roswell Honda. Now through Saturday, save thousands on a sizzling selection of vehicles. Take $5,000 off a new 2025 Honda Ridgeline or $6,000 in total savings on 2025 Honda Odyssey. Or how about a 2023 Ford F-150 XLT, just $528 a month. Then join Roswell Honda this Saturday for free lunch and your chance to win a 5-burner all-black gas griddle. Drawing at 1, must be present to win. Get the deal you deserve during the Sizzling Spring Sales event at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
New Mexico small business owners, listen up. Resources are available to help you start, grow, and thrive your business. SSBCI 2.0 offers new small businesses the funding, training, and support you need to get your business off the ground. Have an established business but need additional funding and resources? SSBCI 2.0 is the place for you. Visit edd.newmexico.gov to get started. That's edd.newmexico.gov. Sponsored by this station and the NMBA.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:59. I double booked, so we got a busy hour next hour. We're going to talk Together with Veterans, talk about Veteran Symposium coming up here on the 29th, I believe. Also, we've got Roswell Communal Theater going to join us next hour. Their big show, the Explorers Club, is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then again next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Roswell Communal Theater. So we will talk with all of them next hour. So we got a lot of information to get. It's the spring, man. As we're getting into spring, more events, more things. The weather's getting nice, so lots of stuff. So we'll tell you all about it next hour. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. While insisting the Trump administration will not defy a judge's order on deportation flights, a high-ranking Trump administration official says that his team is committed to making America safe again.
President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, says the administration won't defy a court order on its use of an 18th century wartime law to deport Venezuelan immigrants.
We'll abide by the court order as litigated, but my quote was, despite what he thinks, we're going to keep targeting the worst of the worst of the worst.
Homan insists Title VIII covers them and says deportees were members of the Nicaragua gang. He spoke on ABC this week. Meanwhile, Homeland Security says it will revoke legal protections for more than 500,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans, setting them up for potential deportation. I'm Julie Walker.
American and Russian negotiators meeting in Saudi Arabia discussing a proposed partial ceasefire for Ukraine. We get more from the BBC's Frank Gardner.
Trying to thrash out the technical details of what they can salvage from these ceasefire talks. The Russians are most interested in the Black Sea, the shipping lanes and their ability to export their own products through the Black Sea. The Ukrainians are so far fairly upbeat about this. Once the talks with the Russians are finished, they're going to have another meeting with the Americans, and then they will return to Ukraine. These won't be the last talks. It's just a beginning, so delegates have told us.
A spokesman for the Danish National Police Force says it has sent extra personnel to Greenland in advance of a planned visit this week by a U.S. delegation that includes Second Lady Usha Vance. On Wall Street this morning, a rally is underway. The Dow is up 528 points. NASDAQ ahead 354. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
The U.S. fires on Yemen's capital as its campaign against Houthi rebels continues.
American strikes in Yemen entered its 10th day without a sign of stopping, killing at least one person in its latest attack in the capital. The strikes are part of a campaign by U.S. President Donald Trump trying to pressure Iran, the Houthis' main benefactor. These attacks started after the Houthis threatened to target Israeli ships over Israel blocking aid entering the Gaza Strip. So far, the US has not offered any details on the sites it is striking, though officials claim the attacks have taken out key Houthi leadership. I'm Nayan Kim.
Testimony from parliamentary inquiries and other evidence shows that top Thai officials secretly decided to hand a group of Uyghur detainees over to China while denying plans to do so in public, giving the detainees no chance to make a last-ditch appeal before they were bundled off and sent back to China. News and analysis at townhall.com. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and tennis great Novak Djokovic. What do they have in common? Apparently, they share a passion for tennis along with their views of vaccines.
Kennedy, the nation's top health official, posted a photo on X on Sunday of himself and Djokovic standing on a tennis court holding tennis rackets. Kennedy, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, has rejected an anti-vaccine label, but has repeated his skeptical views of vaccines in interviews and other public statements. Djokovic missed multiple Grand Slam tournaments in 2022 because he did not get vaccinated against COVID-19. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Opening statement set for the bribery trial of Nadine Menendez, wife of prison-bound former Democratic Senator Bob Menendez. The 58-year-old Nadine Menendez was originally scheduled to go to trial last year along with her husband. However, a breast cancer diagnosis and then surgery led to a delay in her case. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. I saw this right before I went on air, and it is dumb. It is so dumb.
Okay.
But I giggled hard.
I like a hard giggle.
There's a picture of a bag of butternut crinkle fry.
Mm-hmm.
With
I saw
the heading,
this.
Isn't that the chap who plays Doctor Strange? Benedict Cumberbatch.
Have you ever?
That just made me laugh.
Have you ever tried the Benedict Cumberbatch name generator?
No.
There's a website you can go to.
I really want to try butternut crinkle fries.
They sound delightful, right? Name generator. Yeah, you click a button and it gives you a Benedict Cumberbatch-esque name.
Yeah.
For example, mine is Burberry Crimpy Snitch. Let's try another one. Buttermilk Cracker Jack. Bento Box Vegemite. Rumble Sack Concubine. You can just do this all day. Danglerak Camel Toe.
Wow, look at crazy.
Benadryl Carrot Stick.
I like the one with the
Burberry Stinky Rash. Oh, I'm gonna be doing this all. I know how I'm spending my Monday.
You know what? Now I gotta stop saying a full hour. But about a half to a dozen years ago, back when dumb things to put on your phone was popular,
right?
Simple dumb things, because we didn't have good dumb things yet. One of them was a fantasy football team name generator.
Nice.
And I spent hours with those names that were. I think I actually used one or two in years past. Back when I had like 37 leagues I was in at the time and all that.
I'm sure it's just a bunch of fun football puns.
Oh, there were some good ones. Half were about radio friendly.
Well, fun fact: Donald Glover, the actor, Community, Atlanta, all that.
Yeah.
The way he came up with his rap name, Childish Gambino, was through a literal rap name generator.
Sounds
I think it was a Wu-Tang rap name generator.
Sure his dad, Danny, didn't tell him.
Yeah. Nope.
I wonder what Danny's up to. We always hear about
Danny Glover.
Yeah.
He's up to his 90s, I think, at this point, right?
He's still with us, isn't he?
I think so. How are we going to play the Is-Was game? If he dies today, I swear.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
It's all on you. He's 78.
See, you're way off. He's only 78.
He just looks 90. He's looked 90 since he was 30. The man, he aged 60 years.
His most famous line is, "I'm too old for this." That's true. Like his most of all the movies, of all the things he did. That's the line that sticks with him. So.
It turns out he actually is now.
Speaking of lines, we have the folks in the Roswell Communal Theater. They're going to be doing their big show this weekend, and next we'll have them on the radio here in just a bit. Also, right after that, we're going to have the folks from Together with Veterans join us. The big Veteran Symposium is here on the 29th. Big day full of events for veterans. We'll talk about that with them as well. So all of that will be in the next 50 minutes.
Yep. It's going to be busy.
That's right. And get your Benedict Cumberbatch name generator today.
Blubberbutt camouflage.
That seems oxymoronic. All right, it is 9:10. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good over the next couple of days. We do have a system moving in on Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. Might bring us some rain. For now, we'll stay sunny. Afternoon high today in the low 80s. Wind will stay light, 5 to 10 miles an hour. For the overnight hours, it'll be clear with mid-40s, and then we get sunshine on Tuesday. We're expecting mid-80s. Maybe an afternoon shower on Wednesday, high around 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 53 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 32%. Winds are calm at the moment. Just nice to say that still. After last week, just nice to say. Sunny today and beautiful with a high of 86. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour tonight. Clear, overnight low of 46. South winds 5 to 10. Tuesday, sunny, high of 86 tomorrow. Northwest winds at around 5, so kind of mirror today. Tomorrow night, clear, overnight low of 48. South east winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, a smidge cooler, still pretty nice. Partly cloudy, 79 for a high with north winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. There is a 30% chance of showers for Wednesday night. It says before 9 till about midnight, so we'll see. About a 30% of it during that time, or whatever the rule is that they say about 30% of the area covered is going to get rain or something. I don't remember the logic they use, but whatever it is, we got 30% of it. 50% chance of rain for Thursday afternoon as well. Partly cloudy and 74 for a high, and then sunny and 85 Friday, sunny and 82 on Saturday, and sunny and 80 on Sunday. All right, 11 minutes after 9 o'clock, we're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then we're going to have the folks in the Roswell Communal Theater, Alethea Hartwell, Randy Nolan, join us talking about their big play starting this weekend. Don't go away.
Hey, Roswell, need a truck? You're in luck. Now is your time to buy a new Ford truck for a lot less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. For a limited time, get massive discounts on every new Ford and quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, plus 0% APR for 72 months and no payments for 90 days. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, so we're taking care of business. Big trucks, small trucks, work trucks, we've got them all for a lot less. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your loan or lease, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you, regardless of where you're at, for oil changes, tire rotation, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. Massive savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is 13.89 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Straight balance refinance and loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025.
Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The Main Event Car Show and Cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiasts, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Logitech.
The need for American-made energy is forecasted to increase by over 50% over the next couple of decades. Coyote Willow Energy Park is a resilient, clean, and affordable solution to this increasing demand being planned in Chavez County. Join us at the Coyote Willow Energy Park Open House to learn more about the role Chavez County can play in meeting the need for an increased supply of reliable domestic energy. The project will provide a significant amount of new local job opportunities, millions of dollars of new local tax revenue, and local investments. Plus, it helps lower greenhouse gas emissions and improves grid reliability. It's a win for the local economy and the future of Chavez County. Stop by the Chavez County Joy Center in Roswell on March 27th between 5:30 and 8 p.m. Meet the team, ask questions, and discover how Coyote Willow Energy Park is powering a brighter future for Chavez County. Visit www.coyotewillowep.com to learn more and RSVP.
It's Truck Month here at Richland CDGR, 1309 Southeast Main Street in Roswell. Come by and take a look at our blowout prices on all new Ram trucks, Jeep Gladiators, and Jeep Wranglers. We have trucks up to $12,000 off MSRP, Gladiators up to 15% off MSRP, and even some of our Jeeps 10% off MSRP. The time to get into your new truck is now. At Richland CDGR, we believe buying a vehicle should be an experience and not a hassle. With honesty and upfront pricing, you can relax and enjoy your experience here at Richland CDGR, located at 1309 Southeast Main, Roswell. Oh yes, hablamos español.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Community Little Theater, Letha Hartwell and Randy Newman back with us. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How's life at the theater? I know you got a big week.
Yep,
it
big
is
week.
Curtains up here Friday night for the next big show at the theater.
That's
here.
right.
So this is scramble week, I guess, for you guys. Dress
Yes,
rehearsals,
yes.
last minute, sewing of the buttons and all that. That's it.
Right.
Pretty much. But the cool thing is we got a really fun play coming up for you.
Very.
If you
Very
love
good.
comedy and you love the adventure and all of that, then you're going to love the Explorers Club.
Yeah.
This one's going to be right in your wheelhouse. So I'll let you guys kind of give the background on this one.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there's this female explorer who has discovered a lost city that no one even thought existed.
Hence the lost part.
Right? And she's brought one of the natives back with her.
Okay.
The acting president of the club wants to propose to her for membership, but you just don't do that.
There's a pecking order.
Yeah, there is. So she and the native have an audience with Queen Victoria.
Oh.
And the way they say hello in his home is they slap you in the face. But she has taught him to bow to the Queen. So he bows to the Queen. She puts out her hand to help him up, and he slaps her.
Nice.
Yes.
This feels a comedy level of like a Mr. Bean.
Very.
Yeah, very much so.
And that joke, if you're a Mr. Bean fan, this is going to be in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So anyway, my character is the private secretary to the Queen. And basically the rest of the show is me trying to find the lost city and to find the native to punish them and them trying to keep him away from me.
Ah.
And there's also a love triangle going on underneath.
Yes. Gotta have a love triangle.
So it's got a little everything.
Is that about right?
A lot of comedy, action, little romance, a little bit of everything.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So we get war declared upon a tribe, a lost tribe, and they don't even know where it's at,
Wow.
which is really funny.
So it's like Mr. Bean meets Joe versus the volcano.
Yes.
You remember that movie?
Yes.
You remember the
kinda
orange
like
soda? Like it's a little, so it's got a little bit of all that. in it.
Yeah.
But either way, but whatever you want to compare it to, it sounds like going to be a fun show.
Great fun. It's super funny, and the cast could not be more spot on. I'm so excited.
And good news is you've caught and learned about it before opening night.
That's right.
Opening night is this weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, and then the Sunday afternoon matinee, and then we'll do it all over again next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. Get your tickets now while tickets are still getting good, where you can still get plenty of selections on your seats and all that. You can go to roswelltheater.com, spell theater like live theater, R-E at the end, not the eater like a movie theater. So the R at the end now. I think if you spell it wrong, it still takes you there. But
I think we have both.
Yeah, I think you guys both locked down.
Yeah.
But either way, there way you can get tickets. And then I was noticing on this one, y'all are starting to incorporate swag with these performances now.
Yes.
You know, like you want to get some mugs and totes and things.
Yeah, T-shirt.
That are themed to this particular play.
That's right.
Yeah, you can get them on the website here.
Yep.
Good deal. And you could, I don't know, if someone ordered today, would they have it by Friday show?
I think it takes a little longer than that. I think it's like a 2-week thing.
So,
because they have to print it.
You never know. You maybe get it in time. But either way, you'll have the memento. And again, this is another great way to support the community theater because all the proceeds from that go back. Just like when you go to see these plays and everything goes back into the theater. This is all nonprofit. This is it is all the labor of love for all the volunteers that make the community theater go.
Yep, now they can buy a T-shirt at the door.
Oh, good deal. So those you can get at the door.
Yeah.
So. So if you forget your T-shirt, but if you come shirtless, they're going to make you buy one.
We will make you buy one.
That's right. We're going to establish that as a rule.
No shirt, no shoes, no service.
We'll have to buy a shirt. We're going to set that as a rule right now. But come and this is the thing. I think if you've never been to a communal theater performance, you're going to be amazed at how. You're going to think, wow, that was bigger than I thought it was. Like I think most people, when you hear community theater and you think, okay, it's. I was like, no, this is a labor of love for these people that yourself and the others that are involved, everywhere from the ones sitting on the stage to the board members that plan the next 2 years of what's going to happen at the theater. All of those folks have a passion for this stuff, and that's what you're going to see on Friday or Saturday or Sunday whenever you go out there.
And we're very good at it.
And that's just it. Yeah, you're amazed at people that by day are working on your teeth or selling you a house or whatever they're doing.
Right.
They also bring it at this acting thing, and that's where you do. And that's what I love most about communal theater. You'll see like a pastor or you'll see someone in their daylight or day job kind of thing,
right?
And then you see another side of them as they become a different character and do things, and I think that's, and then you see how well they do it, and so that's the part. And then by the way, that's the first 5 minutes of why you're there if you've never been there. By that point, then you're just engrossed in the story and you forget all about who's where, what, and when, and you're just like, hey, that was pretty good. But yeah, for that first 5 minutes, like, Father so and so, I haven't seen him do that. You know what I mean?
Well, I used to be a pastor.
Yeah.
So that's kind of. So please come if you've never been. Make this show your first one. Pro tip: get your tickets the first week because I know once the word gets out and spread, the second week fills quickly. So if you have a very narrow window that you're able, and if only one of those 6 days are good for you, might want to go ahead and go online, pre-order, get your tickets now that you can pick them right up at will. Kind of when you walk in, there'll be a will call. While you're there, you can get a candy bar or some water or something, or a shirt.
T-shirt.
And so get there a little early and mingle because a lot of people like to visit and hang out in the lobby before the show, and then and then they call you in, and because you can't eat your candy bar in the theater, you
gotta stay outside.
But come and support and come and then I guarantee after the night you're gonna be like, wow, we got to come to the next one because that was a lot of fun. And then you're gonna and every couple months when they have a new shit play out, you're going to be first one up, sign up for that show. So definitely make that tradition start this weekend.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. RoswellTheater.com. Spell theater, Theare. Again, and then when you get there, there's going to be like a scrolling thing there, and it's kind of, I think there's talking about auditions for stuff. I think like the second one is one for the Explorers Club to click that, and that'll take you to where you can buy your tickets and do all that. And then it's available. We'll call. They will sell tickets at the door if you don't get advance tickets. However, they hardly ever have to turn anybody away, but we'd hate to have to do that. So if you do have the time and the remember and just to save yourself a little bit of don't have to worry about it, just get online, get your tickets ordered, and then whatever night you choose or day you choose, you can just roll right up. Oh, hey, welcome, Bob. Come on in. We got your seats ready, and we'll get started in a bit. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, I invite you to talk to the actors and people because they're always looking for volunteers. If you want to be a part of the communal theater, come to a show. That's the best way to learn what the communal theater does, and come see the show. By the way, even if you're like, I love this, but I do not want to stand on a stage, no problem. You can get very much involved and not belt out a tune or utter a line from a play. That's no problem. They need, if you love to create, if you love to sew, if you love to build, if you love to, I don't know, maybe you're just a lawyer and have good lawyering skills, it might benefit the on the board or something.
Yeah.
All of that too. But if you just want to be that person that helps, like they need people to usher people to their seats, to take tickets, to welcome guests in, to sell candy bars, to make sure costumes aren't having costume malfunctions when the play happens. When people, these folks get in and out of costume, there's like, the Grammys or the Oscars where the hosts are slipping in and out of dresses or whatever.
Right.
It's just like that every night. There's a performance at the community theater, and they need people. Where 1 minute they're here now, in about 2 minutes they're going to be 10 years from now. And they got to get to that version.
Right.
Help out with that stuff. So whatever, or if you're a technical person, I love sound and lighting. They could use a stable of people that because I think there's only one or two, and I think they're getting tired of doing every show. So you know what I mean. You need a variety, so they can have like an on call, and when people like to go to town or vacation, they got a good. So if you like doing sound and lighting, maybe that's your bag. But either way, there's lots of different ways you can get involved with the community theater.
You can work concessions.
Concessions.
Sell the water in the candy bars.
There you
Backstage.
go. That's right. Backstage, on stage.
Special effects.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the above. Or maybe you're a builder. Maybe you love to.
We always
every
need
set
builders.
has got usually pretty.
Definitely need
even
builders.
the simplest of plays have generally a lot of complex set work to get done. Even if it's a one scene, the whole thing's in a parlor. It's still a lot of work to get done.
Right.
That's usually not the case. Sometimes there's. Oh, now we're on a boat. Now we're in, you know what I mean? You gotta change it all.
Yeah, and it's not easy building a parlor.
Especially with my plays. They tend to be that way.
When you're bringing up lost lands and things like that, there's probably a few scene changes.
This one's not actually.
Not too bad? Okay.
It's all in one room, which is it. But it's so funny, and it's just a lot of great fun.
Come see it.
Come see it.
Yeah, trust me. And then I also we missed out on this play. It was here a couple days ago, but usually each one of these plays are preceding these plays are immersive dinner night.
Right.
And and I highly recommend you. Like, we're out of luck for this play, but there'll be another one coming up here, and you can get in on that. And it's very limited. And I'm telling you, tickets go fast.
Exclusive.
It's very exclusive, and people are like, "Man, I missed." So if you want in on it, it's worth it because basically the cast and crew basically serve you dinner that night, and they partner up with usually one of the most amazing local restaurants here. But they're in character. And it's more of the play.
Right.
Except you get to eat food. And the rare instance of in the theater. Because they don't have food in anything there.
On the stage.
On the
stage.
Gallivanting around the crowd there. But up on the stage.
Yeah. So. They get to eat dinner on the stage, which is cool.
RoswellTheater.com there. And then everything we're talking about and more is right there. If you want to audition for plays, there's links to all that to get involved. Or, like I said, if you like to talk to people, read it there and then come out Friday night or Saturday or Sunday or next week and hang out and visit with the cast. Because after the play, they all come out and you can shake hands and meet and talk. And so there'll be a chance to chit-chat. No problem.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Did we get it all? Is there anything we missed?
I think we got it.
I think pretty much, yeah.
All right. We'll break a leg, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you this weekend.
We're
It's
excited.
gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah. Come and it sounds like this one's family,
Oh yeah, it's
kids
family.
All ages on
It's
this
totally
one, so.
family friendly.
Yeah, so
it is.
bring the younger
It's
kids.
gonna
This one's
be
okay for that.
so funny. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
The humor is fun for all.
That's right.
We were a month into rehearsals. They're still cracking up every night.
Oh my gosh, I'm still laughing.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's good when you got the cast still. Because let's face it, if anyone's going to get tired of saying the same thing over and over again, it's
right.
But when they can do it, still laugh.
The cast and the director.
Yep.
That's proofs in the pudding. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Come on out, and again, it'll be this Friday night, this Saturday night. Those are 7:30 performances,
Right.
and then 2:00.
2:30.
2:30 on Sunday. And then we'll do it again next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. Get your tickets right now, RoswellTheater.com. You can get them at the door. I would not recommend it. Just get them early. That way you don't have to worry about it and all that. And it's generally it's general seating. So when I say that, but I'm saying that if you wait too long,
But you want to pick good seats.
You're not going to get general seating.
You want good seats.
Yeah. and then usually the doors and everything open about 30 minutes prior to showtime. So get there a little early. That way, if your heart's set on a particular seat, then get there about 7, and you'll be probably first in line.
Right.
Probably will.
Thank you guys, and
All right.
we'll see you next time. We'll see you this weekend.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Break a leg.
Thank you.
All right. They're not suited to my next group. They're all veterans. They get mad when you say that. All right. It is 9:28. We're going to pause for news and a quick break, and then we're going to talk with Rick Lamb and also Rebecca Cobos to talk about the big Veterans Assembly that's happening here on Saturday. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. We begin today in Las Cruces, where police confirm 3 teenagers have been shot to death and 15 others were injured at a Las Cruces park. Gunfire erupted Friday night at Young Park in Las Cruces. The victims were Jason Gomez, Andrew Madrid, and Dominic Estrada. As of Sunday, 4 people, including a 15-year-old boy, had been arrested and charged with 3 open counts of murder, all of them. Police said the shooting happened during what they said was an unsanctioned car show when 2 large groups of people began fighting. The first ever Artesia Downtown Street Dance is planned for Thursday, March 28th. The event beginning at 6:30 p.m., following the main event car show cruise. Artesia Main Street is sponsoring the festivities. The dance will be held on 5th Street in front of Beige Veterans Park. Everyone invited to attend the event in downtown Artesia and enjoy an evening of live music, food trucks, and community fun as Artesia comes together to celebrate the musical arts. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good over the next couple of days. We do have a system moving in on Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. Might bring us some rain. For now, we'll stay sunny. Afternoon high today in the low 80s. Wind will stay light, 5 to 10 miles an hour. For the overnight hours, it'll be clear with mid-40s, and then we get sunshine on Tuesday. We're expecting mid-80s. Maybe an afternoon shower on Wednesday, high around 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:31. And joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Health Council and Veteran Symposium, of course, Rick Lamb and Rebecca Cobos back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Welcome back. Happy Monday. I know it's not the funnest thing to say, but happy Monday nonetheless.
You know what? Every now and then you need a happy Monday.
At least the Monday's a nice weather Monday.
Exactly.
Like after a couple weeks, and this week is pretty stellar. Most
I know.
weeks.
85 degrees today. I was excited.
Sure you can't move some of the activities outdoors Saturday? Because, I mean, we might actually want to now.
We might. Hopefully the Hobson Hall has AC.
That's right. Yeah, they're pretty good on the breakfast. Or when we had the breakfast out there, but that's in the morning, so I don't know. Yeah, it'd be good. It's the newest building out there. Should be the best AC in the
should be,
complex.
right?
Yeah.
And it ends at 2 o'clock anyway, so it doesn't get too hot.
It gets real hot.
There you go.
Exactly.
So, if you're wondering what the heck we're talking about, well, here it is. We've been mentioning it all month here in various times, but this Saturday is the date. You're officially in the 2-minute warning. The Chaves County Veteran Symposium annual event will be this Saturday. I guess you can say annual. It's been going for a few years now.
Yeah.
So we call it officially
third
annual.
plus year or something like that.
We're going to go with annual Chaves County Veteran Symposium here. But it'll be this Saturday, March 29th, out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds there at Hobson Hall.
Correct.
Or the new building, depending on, because that's what it was called for about a year before they decided to honor the Hobson family with that name. But and if you've been to years past, it'll be similar, a little different, but similar at the same time. It is like you said, a veteran symposium. It's in the title. It's a resource for veterans for everything from if you need health care to benefits to just quality of life stuff
Tax exemption on your property?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that. Yeah, because, by the way, the county does that, if you did not know. I took advantage of it a couple years ago here as a veteran myself, and I highly recommend you do it. It's pretty good. Put it this way, even if it's just a little bit, you want to pay a little bit of taxes or no, I'm just saying.
Every penny helps.
That's one more Kit Kat in my pocket. That's all I'm saying. But this is really a great event to kind of learn about not just that, but it's a little bit of everything. It's entertainment. We're going to have some fun for everybody. There's good food, there's going to be stuff going on. But really the hallmark here is we want to get as many veterans to come and take advantage of the most opportunities and things you maybe didn't know about or things you did know about, but that maybe you're a little too intimidated to navigate through. This is what this event's for, to help you get better, get quality of life better, whether it's bigger stuff or little stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's
we
about.
We do have a little bit of everything for everyone. So whatever your needs are, we would be able to, there's going to be a lot of vendors, a lot of resources, things like that there. So whatever, someone is looking for, there's going to be something there for them.
Absolutely. Now the event is it's a half day. You be there at 10, you're out of there by 2 p.m. So,
right.
So you still got, you can get up and go have wherever you have your Saturday morning breakfast and then come on down and then
there you go.
Out the door by 2 o'clock to go whatever your afternoon consists of.
Exactly.
But I highly recommend even if you only have an hour to hang out, find that hour and get down there and do some and get involved. Some of the stuff, there is scheduled times for some things. Some of it's come and go. And there is a schedule of events, like if you want like a particular thing, like the resource booths and all that will start open about 10:45. But like the NIMI, some of their GOS performances, if you're like, I want to see the GOS team do their stuff, you're going to want to be there at noon for that. Because if you come at 1:30, you're going to miss that. So if you're looking for specific things, you're going to want, but some of the things you can kind of, like if you're visiting certain booths, anytime between that kind of 10 and 2 window, you'll be able to do that. But I would invite you to kind of look at that thing, and if there's certain things you want to make sure you're at, then be there for that specific. Although if you're just kind of wanting the whole experience, come at 2, you're going to be well fed, well busy, and tired by 2 o'clock when it's time to go.
Right. We do have some really specific opening ceremonies, like we'll honor POW, MIA.
So you want to kind of be there for that.
Right. And then we're going to be honoring a World War II veteran, one who has passed, one who is still with us.
We just lost one here.
Yes.
We only got one left now.
So we want to, we have an honorable mention for him as well. And then we also want to honor our Vietnam veterans, which is the 29th is our memorial.
Right afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, so stick around a little bit, and then they're doing our Vietnam Day celebrations. They're always saying veterans, but our Vietnam veterans.
Right, and there's a few things going on in the community, but American Legion Post 28 is going to be offering a community event. Yeah. Hamburgers and hot dogs open to the community.
That'll be at the fairgrounds.
No, that'll be at the Legion
at
6.
Okay, and that's there on
PM.
Montana.
Correct.
And so come on down, and come hungry, and then come. And of course, if you want to learn more about becoming a Legionnaire,
absolutely,
they would love to have you and talk to you. And I imagine probably be a few VFW guys and everything else hanging out too if they want to bring you in. I say join them all.
Yes. More resources.
Strength in numbers. The more veteran and the stronger all veteran groups are, the stronger they can do better work for veterans.
Absolutely.
It really is especially when you get into Legion and VFW worlds.
Right.
The numbers are the big thing.
And we do have, even Together with Veterans, we have a lot of support from American Legion as well as VFW.
Oh, they'll have representatives from, I think, both Legion posts, the VFW, they all have representatives on hand for you to talk to.
Because suicide is definitely, a national issue right now. So all of the veterans organizations, as well as our communities, health councils, things like that, are really focusing on that.
That's a big mantle that pretty much they're all, because people that veterans, you always hear the 21 seconds or 20, that number kind of fluctuates here and there.
Right.
Either way, it's a bad number.
Yeah.
And 21 veterans or 20 veterans a day or whatever that number is, it's too many. And
every death by suicide is a tragedy.
Everyone is too. Yeah. And but here's the rub on this it's why we focus sometimes on veterans on this one more than others. Veterans by nature are the honoriest, stubbornest refusal to listen to people type people, and so you gotta hit that nut a few times to crack it to get them to understand what we're talking about here.
Yep.
To say the least.
Some of the non-veteran, I'm not saying that's not the case. There's some stubborn civvies too out there, but generally, you almost have to drag a vet kicking and screaming to something like this to get them to do it before they open up their eyes to say, "See, this is important." Okay, maybe you're right.
And really just want to change the thought process for our rural community.
Mm-hmm.
If we make it more, if we bring more awareness, then we're going to be able to know how to target some of those needs.
And the more visible, the more it is, the more people feel less alone, the more people will turn to resources. And veterans, I know I was making jokes about hardhead stuff, and that's very true. But at the end of the day, if there's... veterans will listen to veterans more than before they will listen to other people. That's that's just the nature of the beast. So if we can get veterans telling veterans, "Hey, dude, you need some help. Let us help you do that."
Right.
And that's what veterans do. And veterans respect veterans because veterans know that veterans have seen the same and experience, maybe not directly, but they've been in the same kinds of rooms and done the same kinds of things and know that come and understand the same kind of mindsets.
Right.
And so that's why we put that emphasis on there. But please, you don't have to be a veteran to take advantage of the suicide stuff and all that. If you know someone that's dealing with this stuff, call the lines. They're not going to say, "Are you a veteran? Sorry." That's not going to happen.
No, absolutely not.
They're going to help you with everything. If you have any issues and you just want to talk to someone, please. The 988, the suicide, the veteran stuff, it applies to anyone that's dealing with stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
We want to stress that. And this is something, too, if you're a caretaker for a veteran or family of a veteran, maybe your veteran isn't, I'm not going, and veterans being veterans, come on down for them.
Right.
And we'd be happy to say, yeah, my uncle or my grandfather, my aunt or whoever it is a veteran, and she couldn't be here today, but I'd like to give her some information. Please, come on down.
Well, and usually quarterly, too, we're doing some sort of, veteran suicide prevention to help people to understand exactly what to look for in those scenarios. So if you are a caretaker, you do have a family member, we'll help you see those signs.
Yeah.
And that ultimately strengthens our community in the long run as well.
And here's the cool part. Everything we're talking about here, if you're lost or confused and you're like, where do I go? It's very easy. 211.
Yeah.
Everything we just talked about, call that number. And if you missed any part or want more information about anything, or if you want to dive deeper into some of these resources we're talking about, 211. They'll be happy to set the table for you to get you down the path of getting whatever service you need there. That's what they do. And that's for everybody, not just veterans, but if it's a medical emergency, 911 is but if you need resources for, like, maybe you're new to town and looking for a good doctor, or maybe you have a child with special needs and not sure what resources are available, or maybe you're needing help with, like, Department of Health stuff or health insurance and or FEMA stuff, because we've been using 211 over with the flooding and everything.
Absolutely.
It's been also your flood resource, everything from needing it to offering it and everything in between, FEMA resources, all that. 211's been doing all that. So anything regarding that still, and even flood stuff, if you got questions about FEMA or any of that stuff, 211 is that number you need to call. That's what it's fair. Now, it's not at a 24-hour hotline. These people sleep at night. They have lives. Please don't call them at 2 a.m. wanting to know about your FEMA stuff.
We'll just leave a message and they'll call you back.
Leave a voicemail, they will call you back. But if you have any questions about anything we're talking about here today, that's if you want to know more, or maybe, like you said, maybe you can't come out on Saturday because you're busy or whatever, but there's some stuff you definitely want to be a part of. Reach out to 211 and we can get you in touch with the people that are offering these resources. But if you can, come out Saturday and talk. And
Absolutely.
Meet. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Thank
Like
you.
I said, everything starts at 10 like you said, that's the opening ceremonies, and it's military, so we're going to do it right. Presentation of colors, of course, honor our POW, MIA, the traditions that we in the military do as a staple at everything we do. That will be there. And then about like I said, about 10:45 is kind of when the actual symposium part will kick off, with the booths opening up and everything else. So from there on, but there'll be, like you said, at noon there'll be the cool performance by the Goss, Nimi Goss, and there's a couple others, those I think during the day too, like that. So please just go call 211, or if you want to, I always Google like Health Council, Travis County Health Council, or you can type in Travis County Veterans, anything like that will kind of get you to the symposium page and the link and all the stuff that's there, and that way you can kind of read for yourself exactly what time everything is, and then you can plot and plan when you want to be there and what you're going to do. And of course, if you have any questions, and right after that, you can call 211 and say, "Hey, this thing at noon, what's that about again?" And then you can answer that question.
Absolutely.
Good deal. While we're at it, too, because as part of the Together with the Vet, see, there's 211's the Health Council. That's the big umbrella, but within that's kind of, it's the Health Council supports and is part of is the Together with Veterans group that meets, I think, on a monthly basis, right?
Yep.
We do.
And we would love to have more people come to that. Together with Veterans, we'd love to. I know we have a lot more veterans in this community than that come to that meeting every month. And we'd love to have some that come and share your, listen, talk, find out. That's the big thing it's really a question and answer session where folks are, like yourselves, are looking, how can we serve veterans better?
Right.
But veterans get input on saying and part of the solution process as well, too.
Right.
So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sharing what are the community needs.
Yeah.
Each community is different. So, and we're really targeting different age groups, different, war times. So your needs are going to be different.
Absolutely.
So if we can actually really focus in on that and target some of those needs, then we could try to really advocate to bring some of those resources to our community.
Absolutely. And it's different with, it's sad but true is, we think when you ask the average person what a veteran looks like, they're going to think of some person probably in their 50s, 60s, 70s, grizzled, hairless, or gray hair. Someone that looks like me, quite frankly. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the truth. Our today's veteran is a 20 and 30 something that just came back from Afghanistan or Iraq or somewhere in the Middle East, and they think like a young person, millennial, someone who doesn't think old grizzled like us, thinks more like young today. They're not into the same things. They're not.
Right.
They don't necessarily learn the same ways we did or have things, and so tried and true what we do to veterans don't resonate with some of our younger folks, and so. We in veterans groups are learning. We're evolving too, and this is kind of what this Together a Veterans group is. That I get it, the old and grizzled, and there's some things that tried and true, but we have new generations of veterans, and guess what? There's veterans that are 25.
Absolutely.
And they're not all 70 or 80 or 60 or whatever it is. These literally kids are kids. They're still kids. They most of them, if they'd gone the other path, are just getting their high school or their college diplomas and thinking about what, starting their careers and families and all that kind of. Now they're veterans, grizzled veterans at 25.
Yep.
So that's what we're dealing with. And so this is what what the veteran Together with Veterans groups about. Certainly what this veteran symposium on Saturday is about is we want veterans, whether you're freshly shaven and still looking like a child veteran or some of those, cantankerous ones like us that are still there. We
love them all.
Yeah, we want you to be a part of this and realize that the face of a veteran is not the stereotypical thing that most people think it is anymore. It's
absolutely
no, it's definitely not.
And unfortunately, that's a bad thing because it means that we're still fighting wars and we're still doing, and that unfortunately is going to be. It's kind of, I don't know. Part of me kind of grew up in being an '80s child in '70s and '80s. We kind of, there was Vietnam, and then we didn't talk about war till Gulf War hit in '90. It was, and so I kind of lived in that middle where I didn't think about it. War. Every war was like ancient history to me.
Right.
I mean, granted, I was young enough where Vietnam wasn't, but in my head it was. You know what I mean? And so it now it just feels like coming from the other thing. It's like we've had like several combat war. Since Gulf War. Different phases of whatever you want to call it, combat and veterans dealing with stuff, and whether it's full-on war or just some action in some place you never heard of. It's happening more and more often, and so that's why we as communities got to get on the jump on this stuff with veterans because there's going to be more. There's new generations of them. They're going to have new experiences, new things. We got to be. How do we serve that? How do we make sure that these folks are taken care of? For when they get, because that's just it. I mean, we got veterans that are literally got more life ahead of them than behind them still, and that's something that in my head's hard to wrap around. And so that's what we're addressing and dealing with today.
Yeah.
So.
And they're not alone.
Yep, absolutely. So please come out this Saturday. Come out to the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, Hobson Hall, the new building, however you want to call it. That's going to be the just follow the cars and the people.
Yes.
I mean, it's not really hard to get lost out there. But I imagine, are they going to be are they skirting people through the main entrance or that vendor's entrance? That's like off the top of your head? Because sometimes no, don't go to the main entrance, go to the vendor's entrance, which is that one that's just south of the main entrance.
As far as I know, it's the main entrance, but they should have signs up and everything and
Very
people
good.
directing.
It's going to be one of the two. And
Yeah.
if it's not the one, it's the other one. So
Yeah.
you'll have time to figure out. But everything will get underway. Get there a little bit before 10 because opening ceremonies and everything will kick off right at 10:00, and then we'll be done by 2 p.m. 1400 for veterans out there. So,
There you go.
And please, and then of course, if you have any questions about everything we talked about here, you can always go online to the Facebook page or simply just 211, and we'll get your answers.
There you go.
Questions answered, or if you want to volunteer or want more, you think, hey, I love this. How do I get involved with these veteran symposiums, or how do I get involved with the Together Veterans or whatever groups? And of course, and by the way, too, if you are looking to get involved with veteran groups, you're new to town, like I said, they're all going to be there. VFW, American Legion, Travis County Veterans. I think all of our veterans groups are going to have representation there for you to talk to as well, too. So if you're just looking for a social game, got you covered.
Got you covered.
Is there anything we missed, guys? Anything we want to cover that, you know me, I go down a rabbit hole and
No, I
really think so.
You
I
got
think we
it.
covered most of it.
I will offer this up though, real quick too. Is if you want to serve in our community, Health Council is always looking for more volunteers too, in various ways, shape, or form. The Health Council is kind of that resource for everybody. The tentpole things that people know the Health Council for is generally your right around back to school time health fair. That happens, won't be this year, but will happen at the convention center. It won't be there this year, but we will have it. We'll talk about that one later. But that's kind of the most public thing I think most people know for is that big back to school. But when that's not going on, they're of course planning for it, but they really are partnering with doctors and other healthcare resources, providing them with resources like if there's anything from like special, procedures, guests or opportunities in medicine that we can expose to our healthcare professionals, and you find out, you kind of put it on their radar, and then just being a network for them, but then also being that network for the community. If you're trying to get in touch, whether if it's a government-based program or not, 211 is that resource. Yep. So if you're interested in volunteering, whether it's serving on the board or, even if it's just, hey, can I set up, people set up booths at these health fairs and things, whether it's grunt work or more of the other stuff, always could use more folks to get involved because passionate people get a lot done.
Exactly.
And you guys meet monthly, right? Or is it weekly? I can't remember.
Health Council meets monthly.
Monthly, yes.
Yeah.
But if you're interested, call 211.
211. It's a great number right there.
Yeah, good deal.
211.
Well, thank you guys. We appreciate
Yes,
it. And,
thank you.
And we'll see you here next time, if not sooner.
Definitely.
Good
Thank
deal.
you.
All right, it is 9:51. Let's go ahead and pause for Hannity Update, Travis County Sports, and your SRN business update. Don't go away.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Why do people have this faith in their government? I don't know. How'd that Obamacare thing work out for people? Because the promise was you're going to keep your doctor, keep your plan, and the average family will save $2,500 per year per family. It ended up being millions of Americans lost their doctors, millions lost their plans, and on average we're paying, 250 to 300% more for our premiums for inferior care. And over 40% of the country has one Obamacare exchange option. That didn't work out too well. And we've got to rethink how we do things. And we've got to look at things anew. $36,000 a year per student? Are you kidding me? On education?
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Are you taking steps to help protect your money from the potential impact of world war? Russia and Ukraine, Israel, Gaza. We've seen threats from Iran, and now Syria has been taken over by extremists, putting the entire region at risk. The question is, how much more international conflict can we handle? And what impacts will these conflicts have on the global economy and your retirement savings? Right now, thousands of hardworking Americans are turning to precious metals like gold and silver to help them protect their hard-earned savings. You may not be able to control these global conflicts around the world, but you can control how you diversify your money. And that's where gold and silver could help. Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. On top of that, you could get up to a 10% instant match and bonus silver for qualified accounts, but only while supplies last, so don't wait. Visit HannityGold.com or call 855-815-GOLD to get your free copy today and find out if you qualify for up to a 10% instant match and bonus silver. That's 855-815-GOLD.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The Roswell and Goddard baseball teams were at the same invitational this past weekend, the Artesia Invitational. Goddard ends up in the championship game, but the Rockets didn't like the result, losing to host Artesia 10-0, a game that only went 5 innings. Roswell actually gave Artesia a tougher time in the semifinals, losing 5-4 in 8 innings. Roswell then finished that up with a third-place victory, another one-run victory over Lovington on Saturday by a score of 8-7. Jacob Palomino 3-for-4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Meanwhile, Goddard got into the championship of the Artesia tourney by defeating Lovington 9-4 on Friday. Cameron Brown, Donovan Davis both were 3-for-4 with a double in that contest. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking pretty good over the next couple of days. We do have a system moving in on Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. Might bring us some rain. For now, we'll stay sunny. Afternoon high today in the low 80s. Wind will stay light, 5 to 10 miles an hour. For the overnight hours, it'll be clear with mid-40s, and then we get sunshine on Tuesday. We're expecting mid-80s. Maybe an afternoon shower on Wednesday, high around 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Time to move on into the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in Roswell. Spring fabrics are here and summer fabrics are arriving daily with a great selection of quilts, shirts, and rope bowls made right here at the Calico Cow. And great spring deals on Brother sewing machines. They're on sale now. Plus, the Calico Cow can fix and perform maintenance on all brands. Out of town? Log on to RoswellQuilting.com to order. The Cow ships direct. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. A sharply higher open today for Wall Street as traders focus more on corporate earnings news and a bit less on the tariff showdown shaping up between the U.S. and some of its biggest trading partners. Shares of genetics testing company 23andMe tumbled 42% in pre-market trading. This after the company announced it had initiated voluntary bankruptcy proceedings. Heathrow Airport bosses are defending their response to a fire that shut down Europe's busiest air hub for almost 1 day. It comes after Britain's energy system operator suggested the airport had enough electricity from other sources to keep running. More than 1,300 flights had to be canceled on Friday after a fire destroyed one of 3 electrical substations that supply Heathrow Airport. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra presents Kinderman Plays Beethoven, Saturday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. William Kinderman returns to Roswell to perform Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 5 Emperor, along with works by Weber, Dvorak, and Richard Strauss. Tickets are on sale now at roswellsymphony.org or by calling 575-623-5882. Kinderman Plays Beethoven, Saturday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Sponsored in part by Dr. John and Mrs. Deanne Kaysen and the Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Artesia Rodeo Days is heading to the Artesia Horse Council Arena at the Eddy County Fairgrounds March 27th, 28th, and 29th. Gates open at 6 p.m. and the rodeo begins at 7:30 nightly. Enjoy front row family fun, a calf scramble for the kids, trick riding, the rankest bulls and broncos on the circuit, as well as full concessions, food trucks, and vendors, and New Mexico's own Blackcock Brewery on site. Help them pack the house every night at the upcoming Artesia Rodeo Days, coming to the Artesia Horse Council Arena at the Eddy County Fairgrounds March 27th, 28th, and 29th. Gates open at 6 p.m. Rodeo starts at 7:30 nightly. Thank you to sponsors KC Light Towers, Amigo Machinery in Roswell, Benny's Western Store in Artesia, and Tape Branch Artesia. Early bird tickets are only $10 and available in Artesia at Benny's Western Store and Tape Branch, in Roswell at Amigo Machinery, and in Carlsbad at Forest Tire. Gate tickets will be $15, or you can find them online at rodeoticket.com. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Get ready to be dazzled at the Spencer Theater for the Performing Arts. On Saturday, April 5th at 7 p.m., experience Illuminate, a groundbreaking fusion of cutting-edge technology and dance. As seen on America's Got Talent, Illuminate features top dancers in electrifying LED suits, performing dynamic routines to energetic music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Get your tickets by visiting SpencerTheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender, loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2668.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And it is 9:59. We're about going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part, I invite you to check it out at your leisure. Of course, we replayed our interview with Don Weld from the Friends of Bitter Lake in the 7 o'clock hour. But we talked with John and Alfredo talking about Matanza Fest happening May 10th in the 8 o'clock hour. Of course, this hour we had the folks from the Communal Theater talking about the Explorers Club this weekend and next out at the Communal Theater. And, of course, we had the Health Council on to talk about the Veterans Symposium this Saturday out at Hobson Hall on the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. All of that you can find at ksvptv.com in the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. That's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. Thank you oh so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Take care. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Donald Trump is raising concerns that his administration's agenda is being blocked by federal district judges who issue nationwide injunctions against some of his policies.